Hello, chat. Hello. What's happening? Hello. This thing work? Spanner and Niffler for tier 3s. Thank you. Appreciate those very much. Thank you. Happy almost birthday, Doc. DocWizard. Thank you. It's coming up soon. OG7 Heartbeat and Daisy. Thank you for tier 1. Spanner with a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 gifted subs. Thank you very much, Spanner. Tier 1 for Paronosia. Blue Fairy, 19 months. And Peachy Girl with the tier 2. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. And Spanner with another one on top. Today we have the Kyle Pred court case and Patty Patrickson. Patty, I think, they're trying to get 2 years incarceration, 2 years parole, and Pred is like 1 year parole. Yo, what up, AZ? Jack Hill drip? True. Did I change his shoes? I did change his shoes. Okay. I was playing him like the other week, honestly, for like a hot minute, and had to fix a bunch of his stuff. Thank you for 3 more gifted subs, man. Here we go. Yeah, so you guys have to give me a little bit apologies. I was running from work meeting and trying to get stuff set up while also having to pull everything up for docket stuff is going to give me a little bit of my attention is going to be on that just so people can do this. I hope to God in the next 3 blocks I don't get kidnapped. Just saying, figuratively. Yo, Brittlewood, thank you for the new tier 1 sub. Thank you much. Appreciate that. You know, I haven't really ever seen someone try to take out a judge before a case in terms of like kidnapping them so that they couldn't do it, which would kind of be a pretty badass like storyline. Not gonna lie. If that happened, that'd be pretty sick. It would kind of be kind of sick. Imagine literally like kidnapping a judge and be like, hey, here you go. When's it supposed to be? Yeah, let me kidnap him right now so you can't make it. Look at the donk. Look at the faction donk. It's got a donk. It's got a donk. The Spanner, if I give it 2 more on top of it. Thank you, Spanner. Excited for Judge Bailey shit today. Yep. He's still alive. He's still hip. He's still an asshole. All right. He's still a dick. And I'm sure this is going to be a shit show that we all know it is going to be with Pred and everyone else involved, if Brian is involved as well. Yeah,
it's literally a colloquial turn of phrase. It's one of those things that's been very difficult to explain, you know, and it would sound like we were making it up, wouldn't you? You'd be like,
tell me this is Norman. This looks like Norman.
Yeah. Don't want to be late. It looks bad, doesn't it?
Right, mate, I'm gonna go.
Never mind, does not. It looks nothing like him. I mean, somewhat, but not really.
Oh, there you go. Looking good, Your Honor.
Yep.
Beyond this.
Out of Justice Bailey.
Yes, sir.
Okay,
But you,
so
you,
what?
you know my style. I prefer direct conversations, and I don't like jumping around and hearing things through 6
Me too.
If the
Agreed.
DOJ has an issue,
No,
right,
he wouldn't.
The
Bailey
messaging
wouldn't
would
lean.
come from
That's a
within,
TJ thing.
right? We're not
I need
putting
to
the
break
onus
that
on
one.
defense attorneys to sit there and be like,
Yes, fair.
what we
Thank
think
you
they're
for
trying to do.
gratitude.
The
Or
second
gifted.
that we hear,
Appreciate
like,
that. I think one, actually
secondhand
one
or
more.
tertiary knowledge of that, that's not something that we're even going to even
Bailey's not a leaner.
right? Now, if it's
I've been
something
playing
that
him
we
for so long.
specifically observe during court or during practice, we have the eyes to do so. If there are people going around and throwing that in your face, we'd like to
I know, -1,
but again, I
100%.
think it's a conversation that's a little bit bigger than right here.
I agree. I think there's another thing that I personally want to be made aware of.
Give me one sec, chat. I gotta bring up like all the evidence.
If we were
things.
to dial back, like when these conversations of the sweat were brought up,
Did you say the sweat?
I'm gonna take some fault in it because I may have been one of the first to use that vocabulary.
Did he? Did he
when
just?
he was in a very
He just called
casual
sweaty.
manner with, and I may have the
I
time
have no idea what's happening
where
right now.
the discussion was perhaps with like myself framed as just general state of things, like things are sweaty in court. That's how I think a lot of us felt. But what did we mean by that? Right, may be very different from what
Shut up,
y'all
Brian.
mean by
You're
it.
making it up.
So the way I feel about it, I mean, just so you know, Brian, the way I read it as being overly technical, almost requiring an external level of knowledge that most can't attain, right? Without
True.
years of external to the state's education. So that's the way I go for it, right? Like it's like if you're being overly sweaty, it's not about
Damn.
try
What is this conversation
as much as it
right
is
now?
about expecting a level expertise that it's very hard to attain in the city
Chat sipping
through
the tea.
our learn on the job
Sure.
mantra.
It's and
Sipping
I
the tea
think
right now. Go ahead, sip it.
I
Sip the
agree
tea.
with that, and I would expand it to the expectations from prosecutors, expectations from officers as well, and we even experience an expectation that is beyond the scope of any training we could ever provide.
Oh, damn.
Okay, I take that back. In America, there's officers that have 6 months of training, and they get a badge and a gun. So
Now I'm more confused. How do I fit that definition then? If I'm being called sweaty, how do I fit that definition? I've been doing this for less than a year.
So here's what I told, because I'll just lay it flat on the table right now. Sanders called me last night and had a lot of questions about a portion of evidence that she wants to potentially introduce in the Terranova matter, right? I'm not going to expand on it so that Grayson can remain biased.
Please, I
She was
appreciate that.
asking a procedural
I'm gonna see
question
if this
on
works.
how to introduce something.
You can
and-
see
and
this,
when
right?
would be appropriate to do so. And that kind of just blossomed into a larger conversation that we had. We were on the phone
Y'all
for
see
probably
this?
25, 30 minutes. And what it boils down to is I told her that she's incredibly gifted, incredibly talented. Obviously has a lot of
Can you
knowledge,
read it?
even knowledge that was gained.
That's
prior
the
to
second
being
thing.
there, right? In the
Can you actually read
courtroom,
it?
what I am looking for is I'm looking for spirited arguments. I want prosecutors to come in and make a spirited argument and prove their case. I want defense attorneys to come in and make a spirited argument to try and prove why their client's not guilty. What I'd like to avoid are the $5 words, as I referred to them on the phone.
Alright,
The
there you
high
go.
level
Can you read it now?
technical legal arguments and kind of obscure motions that your standard defense attorney that just moved to Los Santos may not know. There's ways to make those arguments, but to just kind of simplify everything, make everything a little bit more approachable. And that's kind of the argument that's kind of the perspective that I presented. Is I like to see, I want people to argue. I want people to feel like that there's, something worth actually coming into this courtroom and fighting for. But I don't want there to be the prerequisite of, having classic legal training in order to do so.
But I don't. That's the thing, right? I got my bar license in April of last year, and I was a cop for the majority of that time. I don't have that experience. I've learned everything through here.
The other thing that
Alright.
we can address, the other thing that none of us
I'm
can control,
leaving
however,
this conversation. I'm gonna see if they're
can't
out here.
control other people's perception, right?
This just seems to be a different conversation that we need to be a part of.
Hey, Bailey, looking good, Your Honor. Looking really good today.
And you look like shit, Pred.
You've been working out.
Yes, you've been working out as well. I see that. You and your
Yeah,
wife
yeah, I've been
beater
hitting that
and
gym.
flannel shirt there, huh?
Yes, sir. Yes,
Quite
yes,
the
Your Honor.
different
Yes, Your Honor.
drip you have there. That's what they say these days, drip, yes?
Yep, I got that drip, Your Honor, and I thank you for recognizing that.
Hey, you're welcome.
I don't think you get enough compliments on how good you look there, and you're such a smart, intelligent man.
Is
You
a
know, the
second
cops
word that they
earlier were
use the
saying-
raise there, son? Are you trying to raise me?
No, I'm just gonna say the truth. The cops were saying you were a dumbass, and I had to say, hey, don't you talk about one of my favorite judges like that. He's a great man. He is a great man.
I see your lies still haven't stopped from the PD side. Huh.
Looking judge I've seen so far.
All right, where the hell's everybody else at?
DocWizard.
Well, we're on time. I don't know about the PD, Your Honor.
Who the hell are you?
Jenny?
Really? What the hell?
Oh my God, you look completely different. How are you, Miss Hall?
I'm really good. How are you?
Not bad. You
That's
look
me.
absolutely
That's
different
me.
from the last time I've seen you.
I took
think
my
you-
makeup off, sir.
It's your hair. You've let it down. I like it
Yeah,
that
I've
way.
also taken my hair down. Thank you very much.
Hey,
Uh-huh.
live free or die hard, baby.
Wasn't the best, I'll be honest.
Wasn't the best at all, especially when it took one of the fighters. Yeah, really lost me.
Really jumped the shark at that point.
Yeah, I don't understand that. It's like the Fast and Furious movies. You guys want to know a funny thing to do? Watch the Fast and Furious movies in reverse, and it's a story about secret agents going undercover as VCR thieves.
You're not wrong.
I've never seen any of them. Should I do that order?
You've not missed any.
Yeah, you should do it backwards. Yeah, yeah, do it backwards. That'll be far more enjoyable.
In fact, the plot becomes more cohesive as you go along that
All right, for those of you that are
Yeah, the other
across
way
the
is just-
pond, I'm sorry,
I'm John
we do
Cena, your
month,
brother, and
day,
I'm a
year
secret
here.
agent.
All right, month, day, year.
gotta-
There is none of this
The Rock is here to
day, month, year.
also
Uh-uh.
secret agent, but now
Oh yeah, don't forget Calvin and Hobbes. Oh, I mean Hobbes and Shaw. Don't forget, you can't skip that one. You can't skip the filler movie.
Where the hell's the prosecution here?
Hey
In
Jenny,
that corner.
you look amazing today. It's real nice to see you. Thanks for being here and me and Patty's support.
I'm here for Patty.
Thanks, love.
Oh,
What did you do to piss her off?
it's
Well, I
cold.
still appreciate you being here. It means a lot to me.
What did you do to piss her off?
Eh,
Oh, for fuck's sake. Ah, for fuck's sake.
All right, do we have everybody here?
Yeah, I get that. Yeah, sure.
Prosecution there.
There's no prosecution. I'm good to go.
They're in the damn corner. Hello there. He's too
Dakota Sanders?
absorbed. Yep, he's too absorbed by his little laptop over there to do anything else.
You two prosecution?
Prostitution? Is that what you just
Prostitution,
said?
sorry.
Prosecution or prostitution? That's two separate things.
Prosecution.
Oh shit.
No, we're here as observers only.
Faxi and Knight are talking in
Oh,
the
do you
chambers
know-
right
Yeah,
now.
they're in
Oh, they're in
chambers.
chambers.
Excuse me there, Vinny.
Wait, hey bro, what's up?
Hey, Mr.
Go
Vinny,
grab
I
them.
ain't done no more shootings in your drive-bys on your pizza joint, bitch.
no problem. You fat That's a lie. That's a lie. He actually wanted to, and I had to
Yeah.
stop him.
Rami?
Right.
Maybe.
Rami?
Rami.
Get your ass out here.
Oh, yeah.
Chad, if you could ever find a an old VOD of an SBS court of Rami, Mr.
Your
K
Honor,
and
sorry,
Vinny.
give us one moment. We're dealing with follow-up from discussion that we just was had.
How long is one moment? That is indefinite in time
thank
in our
you.
city.
No more than 3 minutes, Your Honor.
All right, go ahead. I'm sticking.
I'm sorry, I'm just going to my seat.
Hello.
I think you still owe me a chain there, son.
Kiva love Kiva cozy. Why do you want this chain so bad, huh?
Okay, ladies and gentlemen.
What do you mean? You actually said you were going to give me one.
Defense, you need some food.
And you
Okay,
didn't
I
come
get
around
you
for
guys.
ages, so.
Yeah, uh-huh. Oh, so it's an
You know, now you
offer
gotta
for a
earn it back
limited
again,
time.
bro.
Limited time offer, Vinny.
Yeah, but it wasn't.
I'll think about it. I'll think about it.
Mm.
It's good to see you, though, you fuck.
Yes, I do, fuck. I'm not a fuck, though. Thank you.
You could come out to the counter with me so I could give you my cigarettes.
You
and
look
me-
gorgeous today, Jenny, as always.
Sure, I'll get you cigarettes. I don't care.
Oh, wait, can I do the fucking sing,
Yo.
please, God?
Shara and Secretly Crow.
Is that all right, Grayson? We are.
Thank you.
We're heavy smokers.
tier
I only
ones.
get my cigarettes at Caddy's Shack.
Thank you, thank you. I'm grabbing
Caddy's
mine too.
corner.
I'm grabbing mine too.
They are. They're the best. Hey, no Elios, you're a good guy.
All right, give me one sec, I gotta bring up all the documents and files and all the fun stuff. Give me a minute. Thank you for spouting for another gifted. Doc's on Bailey. Yes, Doc is on Bailey. Just give me one sec. Alright, it's more his courtroom style with this. Let me go here, and I'm going here. You see this?
Yeah, what's going on? Somebody say my name?
That's not what I want.
Yeah, that's okay.
I can play it. No.
I sure will.
Bam bam ba-dum, ba-da-dum, 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 bum bum bum.
Judge Bailey, permission to proceed to the bench.
Thanks.
The hell you need to be up here for?
There's just a chance that if this case goes on for a certain length of time, that I might have to leave early. I'm completely fine with it going on, but there's just some things came up today that I have to take care of, and I apologize in advance if I have to leave early. But I will be honest with you, I knew about this shit for a week and a half, and just slipped my mind. I forgot about this case.
What's your time frame?
I got some hours. I got some hours.
I don't know, hopefully
I'm not
it doesn't
trying. I don't
take
want to. I
hours
don't
there,
want to
Brad.
rush the proceedings because on my behalf. And if I gotta do jail time or something because of vacating the case early, I'm fine with that as well. I mean, whatever you decide, I won't argue.
It shouldn't take hours.
All right.
Yeah, okay, darn hot. Okay, perfect.
Well, just in case I have to leave early, have a good punishment for me.
Uh-huh.
Thanks, Justice Bailey.
The fuck?
Fred.
Oh yeah.
I think your big friend just grabbed your cigarettes. He might try to eat them.
What do you mean he grabbed my cigarettes?
But he's got them.
Hey, let me get my cigarettes.
All right. This one. Sorry, chat.
Prosecution's ready.
Takes me for a while. Y'all ready then? Is everybody here? Everyone that needs to be here.
Everyone from the defense, Your Honor.
Prosecution there.
Yep.
Listen, I understand whatever conversation you had out there, just leave it there and continue here. All right? I don't care what y'all had that conversation for. You need to be here. All right? All righty. I'll be calling this court into session today. Today we have the people versus Patty Scratch Patrickson and Kyle Pred Soze. I will read the following statement of charges here, then I'll do the swearing in, etc., and proceedings afterwards. Y'all have all your witnesses here that you need? I don't understand if y'all had additional ones or not, but is everyone here that y'all need from both sides?
People are ready, Your Honor.
All right.
Defense do have a pre-trial motion for whenever you want that to go in.
How are you doing it at 0 dark 30 over here?
Normally you get told just to bring them at the beginning.
What is it?
The defense would like to motion for the charge of accessory destruction of government property for Kyle Pred Soze to be dropped. In the MDW, no such charge exists. There's only a primary charge on that, no accessory.
Prosecution, your rebuttal.
Yeah, happy to. The online penal code is incorrect. So yes, happy to drop that.
Which one was it? Destruction of government property?
Yeah, I'll speak to the person
Yes,
who
sir.
handles the online penal code to make sure that's fixed.
All right.
Easy.
Fair enough. Motion granted.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Yep, absolutely. So, statement of charges here. I will read this and then afterwards go through each charge for each individual. And afterwards, I need you to plead either guilty, not guilty, or no contest. If you plead no contest, we will not be spending time going over those charges today. Is that understood? I'll take silence as a
Your
yes.
Honor.
Thank you very much. I'm
Sure.
glad someone has a mouth, and Pred, you're usually pretty damn well with it. All right.
Yep.
On July
I got a
12th.
good mouth.
Yes, of course. July 12th, 2023, Mr. Patty Scratch Patrickson was found trespassing in the halls of Mission Row Police Department by Director Brian Knight. Mr. Scratch Patrickson was dressed in clothing to play himself as an officer. After failing to identify himself and clear lack of permission for him being there, he was arrested. A search of his person revealed a car bomb, GPS tracker, GPS locator, security, hacking device, grapple gun, handcuffs, and 2 Go Pixel cameras. Mr. Scratch Patrickson was taken to interrogation and questioned about his intentions. Here he revealed that he had been hired to place a car bomb on the vehicle of Commissioner Sam Bass. At the time, Mr. Scratch Patrickson refused to identify his employer. Through further investigation of various records, the Major Crimes Unit was able to identify the employer to be Mr. Kyle Pred Soze, former sheriff of Paleto Bay. Mr. Scratch Patrickson was paid $350,000 for these services by Mr. Pred Soze. Mr. Scratch Patrickson had been given a box full of explosives to do so. Evidence of this was found in Mr. Scratch Patrickson's home, where officers located a note reading, "Kyle Pred sends his most explosive regards." Boom. With all these factors and further to be presented, it was clear that Mr. Scratch Patrickson and Mr. Pred Soze conspired together to attempt to life on Commissioner Sam Bath via an explosive device. Fortunately for the commissioner, the defendant's plan would fail and be discovered.
So fortunately.
I'm not asking for questions or comments from the peanut gallery.
Sorry, Your Honor, sorry.
The pair wouldn't get a chance against, as the commissioner was killed later on the 12th of unrelated events. All in all, it is clear 2 defendants acted maliciously, Pred, shut up, and deliberately, and may have killed a member of San Andreas' finest, if not for the quick work of Director Brian Knight. For this, the state attorney's office is seeking justice against the 2 for crimes committed. All right, I will read the charges associated here. One sec. Mr. Patty Scratch Patrickson.
Mm-hmm.
The charges are as follows. 1 time criminal use of explosives. How do you plead?
Say it again. Sorry, my mind went blank. Sorry.
1 times criminal use of explosives. How do you plead?
Not guilty.
Attempted murder of a government employee.
Not guilty.
Destruction of government property.
Not guilty.
5 times felony trespassing.
Guilty.
Impersonating a peace officer 5 times.
Not guilty.
Failure to obey.
Not guilty.
1 times conspiracy.
Not guilty.
Possession of contraband in the 3rd degree.
Can you specify what that actually is? Because I don't know what that part is.
That's your dongles, things like that.
Guilty.
1 times possession of explosives.
Guilty.
A possession of dirty money in the 1st degree.
Also not sure what dirty money I had on me. Is this in relation to money received, or actually did I have that money on me? Because I'm not sure.
Well, son, that's the charges that's been brought forth against you. It's
I
you
will plead
having
not
in
guilty for the time
possession
being.
of the money. You physically possess it.
I'm not guilty for now then.
All right, just to clarify one more time, I'm just going to pass over these, make sure I got these right. The possession of contraband, 3rd degree, you pled guilty, and possession of explosive was guilty as well, yes?
Yes.
Thank you much. All right, Mr. Pratt, in 1 sec. Mr. Pratt. You
Yes,
are,
Your
at this
Honor.
point, 1 times criminal use of explosives as an accessory.
Not guilty.
Accessory to attempted murder of a government employee.
Not guilty.
Accessory destruct. Oh, that was dropped. Never mind. Accessory to felony trespassing. 5
Not
times.
guilty.
5 times accessory to impersonating a peace officer.
Not guilty.
And 1 times conspiracy.
Not guilty.
All right. As we get going here, if you are giving testimony at any point in time, please raise your left hand for me. If you will be up here answering any questions, giving questions, please go ahead and raise them for me. Y'all swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth under penalty of perjury, so help you Han.
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes.
So help me, Han.
Patty?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Making sure that was your voice. Thank you much. All right. Y'all have your opening statements prepared.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Are y'all prepared to give them?
The people are, Your Honor.
As are the defense.
Yes, Your Honor.
Alrighty. People, would you like to go ahead and step on up and proceed with your opening statement? Microphone just ahead of me there on the stand.
Your Honor, today's case is a simple one. It is a tale of hubris and folly. It is a story of malevolent plans to not only lay an explosive in the center of executive power in San Andreas, but to strike down the most powerful man in the police department. Through witness testimony and evidence, it will be clear beyond a reasonable doubt that Mr. Scratch Pacterson and Mr. Prudzoze conspired to murder the now late Commissioner of the San Andreas State Police, Sam Bass. We invite the court to hear our case and see the malicious actions committed by the defendants. Thank you.
It was concise and clear to the point. All right, defense.
Percy, do you want to go first?
After you.
Okay.
Be nice and short.
All right. Your Honor, ladies and gentlemen of the court, we are here today to hear the prosecution's evidence against our clients and also to provide their defense. Once the evidence has been presented, we have no doubt that you will find the defendants not guilty. Thank you.
The fuck? These are like.
You're going to hear throughout all of this how tenuous, arbitrary, and reaching the charges from the police department are on our clients. Simple men who have been accused of horrendous acts that by the end of this you'll also be shocked why they've been charged with this.
Sounds like I'm setting myself up for a story over here than facts, huh? From both sides. All right, prosecution. Your first witness there.
We look to call forward Director Brian Knight to the stand.
Director Brian Knight. Go ahead, approach, take a seat. You've been sworn in.
Righty. Please state your name and rank for the record.
Director Sergeant Trooper Brian Knight.
Alrighty. Were you on duty on July 12th, 2023?
I was.
And how did you start your shift? My apologies. How did you start that shift?
I started the shift about an hour before the storm, the NAEU storm, whichever one you want to kind of reference it as, like the one.
It's weird that we referred to that as like.
And I kind of began my daily rituals, got my food, got my vehicle repaired, etc., and then prepared myself for the shift meeting once the storm hit.
Okay, and when you were en route to that shift meeting, did anything out of the ordinary occur?
It did. I made my way into the general lobby and began to approach the restricted access door that enters into the main Mission Row PD area. Upon coming up to the desk to sign in and then go through the door, I saw a man there sort of nonchalantly standing with his arms crossed.
I don't know how to spell chalant. I'm chalant.
Okay, and when you entered the building, did anything unusual occur?
Yes. So I went and opened the door to the restricted area, and I then proceeded to lock it. And as the door was about to lock, the individual ran right past him.
And have you seen this behavior before?
I have. It's pretty typical when individuals without authorization, without access, without keys try to skirt their way into the restricted areas of Mission.
Right. And did you attempt to identify the individual?
Yeah, I said something like, hey, can I help you? At first, mostly out of confusion as to why he ran by the way he did. As he was nonchalantly standing, and then it was very clear to me that he was using it. He was trying to get in through opportunistic means.
Did you order the individual to identify themselves?
I asked him, does he work here? And he said he did. I asked him if he was a law enforcement officer. He stated he was. Subsequently, because I didn't buy his story in any way, between the clothes he was wearing, the manner by which he entered, me not being aware of us having hired an individual, anything like this, I asked him, go ahead and open the door for me. And he then proceeded to walk up to the door. And then he said, oh, yeah, my keys aren't working. Oh, you know what? I don't have keys. And then proceeded to let down his guard, or not let down his guard, but rather let down his act. At that stage, it was clear to me that he was trespassing in the area and impersonating an officer. And I proceeded to detain him to get further information.
Alrighty. And how is this individual dressed?
He was dressed rather casually. Like he had what I could best describe. We used to have these uniforms back in the day that were of lower quality. Let's just call them like Walmart police gear. It matched that description, obviously without the badge and whatnot, but it had very similar undertonings to it.
Alrighty. Your Honor, I want to put up on the board. It's a photograph from the People's E.2. I'm going to send it directly to the two defense counsels and yourself just to save time. But for clarification, it is from a text message that is timestamped of 7/11/2023, 1919. But I will send it directly to you guys.
You said E.2, which is a phone subpoena, yes?
Correct.
And which line is this?
I will tell you exactly. So it will be on the second tab under text rec.
Yes. Which line?
Line 42.
That?
Yes, that is it. Thank you very much, Your Honor. Can the defense see it, or Grace, do you want me to send it to you?
Hey, can I get a
I can see it
printout of
now,
that
thank
one? I
you.
want to put it on my fridge.
Brad, you do have access to all documents that are publicly available. Yes, you absolutely can. It is a record of phone. If you want to actually do it, go ahead.
Your
Thanks,
Honor, this
Your
was
Honor.
also sent directly to Kyle Pred, so he probably already has it.
It's on the big screen to your right.
Alrighty. Grace, can you see it, you said? Just so I can confirm, because I know you were
Yes.
having issues earlier. Perfect. All right.
Yes, thank you.
Was this the outfit, Director?
That is correct.
Okay. And just to confirm, because we had a little bit of kerfuffle there, you arrested the individual?
He was detained for suspicion of impersonating a law enforcement officer, and then subsequently arrested upon him stating his name was Patty Scratch Patterson. And I recognized him when he's like, "Oh, Brian, I just wanted to attend the Mission Row PD meeting."
Got it.
Upgraded from detention to arrest.
So just to confirm, once you determined he was not an officer, you made your arrest?
Correct.
Okay. During this arrest, did you document the individual's possessions?
I did, yes.
And what did you find?
The list was, as it was mentioned in the opening, there was a car bomb, a hacking tool, a shotgun, grappling gun, cameras. I believe there were the static ones that can be placed, as well as a GPS tracker, or GPS. Let's call it like a transceiver. So it was the device that you would place onto a person
Is that
into a
Villager?
vehicle, which then could be subsequently tracked by another party.
That's Villager?
Okay. Did you question the individual following the arrest?
Yes. Upon this, and given the magnitude of the findings, he was interrogated that very day.
Okay, and just to confirm, that's the interrogation tape of the People's B, Bravo?
That is correct.
Alrighty. Did the individual explain the reasoning for the illegal items?
Sure, I can summarize it, but obviously the interrogation would do it better justice. The summary of which, he was a bit coy at first and then was rather open about his intent. He stated that he was approached by an individual with like wands and all kinds of crazy stuff like that at his Mirror Park house, and given a package with given a package.
Can I interrupt you there, Brian? You said
yes.
approach as an individual with, you say wands there?
Yeah, he's trying to
Could you clarify for the court what you mean by that?
By wands?
Yes, like a magical wand, or what do you mean by a wand?
Well, to make it more clear, it sounded like he was trying to suggest that Harry Potter and his favorite friend came on through. He was kind of jumping between like Harry Potter and like Peaky Blinders. As to what he meant by that, I can't infer.
Objection, misstatement of evidence. Literally on the interrogation tape, if you watch, he talks about it being used to check for bugs in the room.
That's why the clarification was there. The objection was my clarification. His
Okay, well,
testimony, therefore, afterwards. If you'd like to bring up the actual evidence in your part there, you may do so. All right? Well, it's your time for cross. You understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Thank you much.
To add further clarity, the important facts that I was looking for was that he was approached, I believe, via phone call, and the individuals met him at his Mirror Park property, and they gave him a box or a package or something along those lines. He stated that he was doing what he was doing, which I'll elaborate on in a second, in order for a payment. As to what his intent was, he was being paid because he was broke and he was willing to accept the job, was that there was a, and I'm not quoting exactly here, a higher up in the police force that he was going to plant the bomb on. As the interrogation continued, he identified the same call sign that the late Commissioner Sam Bass had. And the intent was to go and plant the bomb. And what we suspected based on not just the devices, but perhaps his own admission. Once again, it's been a while since we've had the interrogation. Track it, see if it gets in the car, and then subsequently blow it up. The full set of intent was rather clear, as you'll find in the interrogation tape.
Okay, and during this interrogation, did he admit to attempting this more than once?
Yes. So he had stated that when I had first approached him and detained him, or in the beginning parts of the interrogation, he had stated that I had been the first one that noticed it, and that he had been sneaking into the police department for the last like 2 or 3 days. Yes.
Alrighty. No further questions from myself. I defer to Cross.
Alrighty. Defense.
Percy, am I going first?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. All right. Hi, Director Knight.
How you doing, ma'am?
All right, thank you. And yourself?
I'm doing all right, not too bad. It's getting real hot in here. You know, so if I pop away, it's probably because of heat exhaustion.
Understood. I had that same fatigue earlier in my
Oh, that's too
previous
bad.
case.
Yeah, it's something about this month and humidity.
You guys don't even know what hot is.
Don't worry. I'll crank down the AC. I'm sorry the taxes haven't been paying for us to keep it below 75.
At least you've got AC.
All right, Director Knight. During your direct testimony, you stated that you asked Mr. Patty if he worked there. Is that correct?
If he worked at Mission Row in the police department, yes.
Okay. And you stated that he said yes to both. Is that a correct summary?
Correct. He indicated that not only did he work there, but he was a law enforcement officer.
What specifically did he say that indicated he was a law enforcement officer?
He said, I work here. And I said, are you a law enforcement officer? And he said, yes, I am.
All right. You mentioned that he was dressed in a similar style to an old uniform for the PD. Is that correct?
Yes. We used to have those probably 5 years ago. Same sort of shirt. It was bad times way back when. I believe they used to be purchased from Target, but I can't say.
All right. Did you, looking at this uniform and your previous experience, did you believe that this was actually a police uniform?
I believed it was not.
All right, thank you. Looking at the photo that is up on the board from the people's evidence, do you know if that picture was taken on the day you caught Mr. Patty?
No, it wasn't. It was it'll be in the evidence, but I believe it was the day prior. However, the hair, the mustache, the glasses, the shirt, it's the same attire and that he was in on the day he was detained and then subsequently arrested.
All right. You stated that during the interrogation, Patty said that he was after someone higher up in the PD. Is that correct?
Yes, something along those lines. Though the interrogation tape will have the exact verbiage.
Understood. And you said he identified Bass by a call sign. Is that correct? As his target?
That he identified it?
Yes.
What do you mean he identified him?
Did Patty identify his target as Sam Bass using his call sign?
His target was identified by the descriptors that are uniquely associated with Sam Bass.
Aside from higher up in the PD, what are those specifics?
Just said.
The call sign, his position. I believe he gave descriptors, but it would be all in the interrogation tape.
All right. So it's your testimony that Mr. Patty specified he was there for the commissioner?
No, that's not what I stated. I said that all the descriptors that he provided as to his target are uniquely associated with the late Commissioner Sam Bass.
All right. So so he specifically stated the call sign and said higher up in the PD, but did not specify commissioner, correct?
He may have specified commissioner, but he did not name Sam Bass by name.
Understood. Thank you. All right. Let me confer with my co-counsel really quick.
Come on now. Yes, come on now. Confer with your co-counsel. Be prepared to have these questions beforehand. Let's go now. I think there's only Brian is the only one that says a witness for both sides of this. This shouldn't be that long, honestly. Thoughts? I have no thoughts. I typically reserve all thoughts until the case is actually over, honestly. I have no idea actually what happened. Sorry for the yawn.
All right. Thank you for that moment.
Of course.
You specified in your direct testimony that Mr. Patty had said he tried this 2 or 3 additional times. Is that correct?
Yes, he said he had tried it 2 to 3 times, something along those lines. be in the interrogation tape.
All right. So if he had tried those 2 or 3 separate times, why are the defendants facing 5 times?
Objection.
Trespass.
I'm gonna object here to relevance, considering her client literally pled guilty to 5 times felony trespassing.
Yes, my client did, but I don't believe Mr. Predsoze did. And if he is being charged as an accomplice or an accessory, then we have the right to ask this question.
Final response is that the fact that the principal actor in the crime has admitted to it, and the question was not regarding Mr. Predsoze, it was regarding Mr. Scratch Patrickson, who already pled guilty to the crimes. Therefore, we don't find it relevant to the line of questioning.
I'll take these things into consideration. Your points have been made. Move on. Next one. Keep going.
Okay, so that is sustained.
It is taken into court record. I will consider information provided with both. Go ahead.
All right. All right. The charges state. Oh, actually, you know what? I think I'm done for now. Percy.
I think we're done, but we'll mark him for recall.
You better mark him for recall. He's on one listed there.
Yep. All right, I do have redirect.
Hey.
Oh,
Brian, sit back
fantastic.
down. I have a feeling that
Yes,
you're going to
sir.
be there for a little bit longer after this evening.
All right. I'm
Alrighty.
excited there, Your Honor.
Fuck you, Brian.
Hey,
Excuse
Brad,
me. Listen,
contempt
look,
of court
now
one
that we're
time right
related-
now. Brian,
He's got a
my
bad cough. He's got a
courthouse.
bad cough.
Brad,
Yes.
contempt of court times 1.
Alrighty.
Keep doing it. Adds up.
Is there anything I can do to remove them? Like good deeds in the courtroom?
I'm sorry, your name's not Mr. Lang Buddha that used to clean our courtrooms long time ago. No.
Why'd you have to use his name?
Because he used to clean the courthouse, and you said good deeds around it. He was a janitor.
It's a good one, Your Honor.
Uh-huh. All right. Go ahead,
Ready.
then.
In the People's B, as in Bravo, at 39 minutes 20 seconds, Mr. Scratch Patterson brings up the high-vis vest uniforms. Do you recall this point in the interrogation?
Vaguely.
Okay.
Objection.
Question's already been answered, Your Honor.
Hold on. I need to hear the objection. Let her object.
The objection is that the high-vis vests, etc., were not brought up in cross.
Your Honor, the interrogation was brought up. They brought up various types of uniforms, specifically this blue shirt. I am about to bring up a further question here. Additionally, the question was already answered.
Well, frankly, the objection will be sustained over there because you're bringing up something about a high-vis vest, which has not entered any sort of evidence at this point.
Yes, Your Honor. Yeah, my apologies, but the People's Bravo, the high vest, is mentioned.
Yes,
in the
that was
interrogation.
absolutely able to be entered there. There was nothing about a high-vis vest either within the cross-examination. Nor did you,
Alrighty.
within your People's B, bring up a high-vis vest. You brought up the fact that the clothing was similar to what was a quote-unquote Walmart brand police uniform. Nothing about a vest.
Alrighty. So during cross-examination, there was a question about the blue color shirt. You stated that it had been used 5 years ago. Has it been used since?
Mostly by those who try to act like they might be police officers in stolen vehicles. That's where I primarily see it.
At any point, has it been used as an official uniform within the UPD since those 5 years ago?
It has not.
All right. I'm done there.
All righty. Hey, I only see one witness on your list here. Is that it? That's it. That's all you got.
I have a list of evidence, Your Honor, but do you want in closing?
No, now's the time to go ahead and address that. If you could have as well during the actual trial and questioning, which you have. Go ahead, point out what you want.
Brian, you don't need to stand up there.
Right. Your Honor, just real quick,
Yes.
if I may.
Uh-huh.
There are a number of ongoing situations. Is it okay if I go into the hallway when need be?
Yes, but understand that you're probably going to be out here within just a minute anyway, because there's no one else named on the witness list, which
All
means
right,
it's
easy.
you and you alone there.
All right. Well, I'm gonna I'll be right around the corner right here.
Brian, come here.
Yep.
Miss Hall, could you actually hold on? Grayson,
Yes.
could you ensure if he takes any phone call or any sensitive information that does not interfere with the court case that is happening at this present time?
I can step outside with him, absolutely, sir.
Thank you.
Alrighty. People have quite a bit of evidence to go through here, so I want to go through. People would like to draw attention to a few points of evidence. Firstly, the People's E.2, specifically under the text messages. Excuse me. And I had it, and now it's... Since you're asking for the lines, which I typically haven't prepped for. Okay, lines 24, 25, 26, which are text messages between Mr. Scratch Patterson and Kyle Predsoze. The first one reading, "You're still busy," replied from Kyle Pred as "wrapping up now," to Patty Scratch Patterson replying, "At the Liquid Library," or LL, "just swinging by." My apologies.
Hold on there before you keep going. I don't know which ones. I have 415-788. Could you identify them for me, just to be clear?
Yep. The first one is going to be Mr. Scratch Patrickson, which is that 788, and that goes to 651 or 628-651, which is Kyle Pred.
Objection to relevance. Pred has not been mentioned once this entire time, and if they're going through just some random text messages, it bears no standing on this.
Your Honor, I'm bringing up evidence that has been
Hold on, you
brought
don't have
into
to. Don't get upset with me. Explain your point. You don't have to get judgmental with me. Go ahead.
Well, there's an objection on the floor, Your Honor.
Yes, object to it normally. Like, you don't need to get up with it. All right.
Your Honor, I'm bringing up.
It's fine. We're all even keel people here. All right?
Your Honor, I have a question.
Hey, there's an objection. Your question can wait.
Yes, Your Honor.
I'm bringing up evidence that has been entered since this docket posting was made. This is my time to go over evidence and highlight relevant evidence, and that's what I'm doing. It doesn't have to be brought up in testimony. It can be brought up in evidence for which me to explain in my closing.
And they're within their right to do so. Objection overruled. Continue.
Okay.
Alrighty. The People's H.2, the $350,000, which was withdrawn on July 11th at 16:02.
Hold on. Which one?
H.2.
All right.
Ready. And then the People's F.2.
Hold on. I'm just opening the other one. You gotta understand that I don't have all these things available and I have to go through. This is the first time I've seen this. So point me to the things that you're looking for.
My apologies. I've been told not to use line numbers before in the past, so I've not
don't care. I'm not going through 80, 90 different lines. So this point me to the ones that you actually think that are deemed relevant.
Yeah, then my apologies, Your Honor. I've been told in the past not to, so I'm doing it now.
Well, if you want it in the past, what you should do is eliminate the ones that are extraneous and not needed, so I don't have to sift through them myself.
Then, Your Honor, that's how I get a Brady complaint.
Well, I'm telling you how I want it because, frankly, if the information's there and it's digestible instead of how many lines?
I understand, Your Honor.
90 lines.
Right. It's going to be on the People's H.2. It's going to be line 61.
All right.
People's F.2. It's going to be line 70. Specifically noting the ingoing and outgoing nature of both of those two, the timestamp, and the name in which is relevant to that subpoena.
All righty.
All right. Alrighty. Then back to the People's E.2. Specifically line 41, 42, 43. Line 42 was already brought up, but we're bringing up now 41 and 43 as part of a highlighting of evidence, which goes in the order of Mr. Scratch Patrickson texting Mr. Pred, quote, "You want to sit through a PD meeting, ? To which Mr. Scratch Patrickson says again, he sends that image that we had placed on the board. And then a little bit later, he texts, quote, "out easy," unquote. Let me know when you're ready to move on, Your Honor.
Yes, go ahead.
Alrighty. We want to bring up then the People's A, labeled Patty's Possessions, number 87079. Just the image involved.
Which one was this again?
People's A as an alpha. It's labeled as Patty's Possessions.
You're referring to that which is to your right on the big screen, yes?
A-firm. Alrighty. And then now to the People's C and the note contained within.
Objection. This note was never entered into evidence for defense to see. There was the fact that there was a note, but the what was actually said on it was never there. So objection, facts not in evidence, or best evidence.
Your Honor,
defense
may I
was
rebut?
never presented with this.
Yes, you may.
It's in the People's G.1. The contents of the note are directly referenced as the note found in evidence. People's
Rebuttal to that is that the note itself was never presented to defense. A quote snippet in another subpoena does not constitute supplying the defense with it. We don't get to see everything. We don't get to see any of the other details to do with it, handwriting, anything else that might be relevant or related. It was denied to the defense.
Give me one sec. Individual with the mask, get the hell out. Thank you. Goodbye. Both of you will come up here real quick. All right. I am looking at this.
Yes.
All right.
There is a photo that there is a note, but the defense was never given any details of what was on that note.
One second. This note, which one? Again, one more time.
People C.
People C.
And it's also found in the People's G.1.
Again, just that there is one, no details.
G.1.
You can see how it would be prejudicial for the defense not to have the details of a note such as this.
I am inclined at this point to sustain the objection. The note is not in evidence, just the context which is transcribed onto your notes itself. I don't have any physical note here, or was it made reference?
It is, Your Honor, in the People's
It's not with anything that's an exhibit by itself. You have the note here as saying it had a note, but there's nothing entered into evidence with it. if you want to use that as evidence, you enter it
Your Honor,
into.
I'm well aware. It's not my choice. That's the person who documented it who made the mistake.
Well, then you can. agree
Then
with our
I can't
objection.
strike. What am I supposed to do, Percy? I can't do
Hey,
shit.
hey. Language.
Sorry, I
first
was told I
off.
was being too serious during court, so I'm trying to be a little bit less serious.
I'm a big boy.
Please kindly return over there. Regards to the note will not be entered into evidence.
Would you like us to dismiss the charges at this time under Brady violation, Percy? No, Your Honor, by the defense.
Excuse me.
I'm asking the Honor, would you like us to dismiss charges based on Brady violation, Your Honor?
In regards to which
Considering
charge?
this is a fact of evidence that is not entered into evidence.
It would make sense. Well, simply based on that's your only real connection to Pred. So if you want to drop
Hey,
everything
don't
on
worry
Pred,
there,
go for it.
forehead. They fucked up so bad. I'm probably going to be getting out of here soon.
But it's probably a lot more than that.
Oh, didn't
for
mean to yell.
Patrickson.
Unfortunately, I can't do
Brady
anything considering
violations
that
are
was an
pretty
officer's
serious.
mistake, and I get sent the reports as is.
It is your job to work with him, yes?
Well, you can identify it
Is
just as I
there,
did.
excuse
Yes,
me.
but you know what? I can't
Hold
do
on.
anything about it.
Apologies.
I'm sorry, I don't find anything funny here. This is a
No,
matter.
I have been brought it up. It's been brought up to me, Your Honor, several times that I'm supposed to have some sort of automatic control over these officers. I am ranked under them, and if I
don't
question
care.
them, then
I don't
get
care
fired.
about that part. That's your department and autonomy. That's y'all need to figure that out. Listen, we are here to present the evidence that we have. Your structure that y'all have or don't have is, frankly, not my concern. I work with what I have. I can't fix what y'all have. That's not my point. Return to your benches. I need a moment to think.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Why does this always happen during bullshit? The last court case I took had someone literally purging himself on the stand. Literally. I mean, if you're using this note to connect everything, like, and it's not there, and this entire note is what your basis is, you'd think that'd be the most important thing that they can enter into it. All right. Well, let me think about this. Well, technically, at all this point, this would mean this goes away. Thanks, Nathan. All charges invalid. And conspiracy would be not guilty by dissociation of Kyle Pred from case.
Yeah, hit him again.
Damn, Odessa, really?
Pred, shut up.
It was not intentional. Nice back. There you go.
Alrighty. At this point, associated charges from Mr. Pred, except for contempt of court, will be dismissed.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Dumbasses! Holy shit!
Contempt times
How do you
2,
guys
Pred. Would you
manage
like to
to
actually
fuck
have me
everything up?
equal your shit and double it there, Pred?
Sorry, Your Honor. I'm sorry. It's just, come on, they deserve it. I mean, 60 pages of documents and they can't
Pred, I don't care if they deserve it or not. This is your
I'm
chance
sorry,
for
Your
the
Honor.
one time in your life to shut your damn mouth in my courthouse.
Yes, Your Honor.
Your Honor, a motion for a 5-minute recess.
Granted.
You're looking good, Your Honor.
Honor, may I approach the bench?
No, you may not.
Your Honor, may I also have contempt because I do have contempt?
Huh? I didn't give you contempt.
Yeah, I'm asking for it because I'm just generally contemptuous of court.
The hell are you even trying?
What is contempt?
Don't worry about it.
He's done it twice now. Let's do 100 months. 100 months parole and $50,000 fine.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Excuse me. Dink donk. Devs? Devs? Toby? Give me an option so I can actually sit in the damn chair. Dink donk. Toby! I don't understand how you don't enter the actual note itself.
Bailey, do you have food? Do you need any food?
I could use a bite to eat if you have it.
You okay with Shrugway?
Well, that's perfectly fine. Thank you much.
There you go. Have some sandwich.
Thank you. More contempt. And drink him real quick. Alright. Listen, if you're visiting the stream for the first time, I'd highly appreciate it if you hit that follow button for me real quick. I see a bunch of new followers. I appreciate the new follows. Thank you much. Thank you, thank you. I can't believe they fumbled that bad. That is kind of a bad one. That's kind of a bad one. You're basing all of his charges that you said on this note, and they literally just agreed to throw out the entirety of Preds. Like, I didn't even have to suggest it. I didn't even have to make anything with it. The one suggested, the other one agreed. Yep, we're throwing this out. Okay. So, I'm skin off my back. If they just determined it themselves, that's fine. The only evidence they had, and they didn't even... it's the most important thing, and you don't include it. I don't care if it even says it on, like, the subpoena. A note was found stating, okay, that's fine. Give me the actual note. It doesn't matter. Like, give me the actual note. How do you not enter that? Yo, Spanner, thank you another gift sub. Appreciate that.
You might have just taken down the chair for you. You just said.
I'm just gonna make sure
Your Honor, may I approach the bench?
Is it something pertaining to this court case?
Yes, it is, Your Honor.
Is it something about your time frame?
No, it's just... I'm real sorry for my behavior, and I would love to come up here for the next few court cases you're having and clean the establishment during the cases and in exchange for not being charged with contempt of court. I will come here. I will clean the courthouse. I'll make sure that your gavel is nice and polished, or whoever the judges are. I'll make sure I'll check the computers and make sure they're all running efficiently. I'll make sure to dust the American flag and, the statues. I apologize, Your Honor. It's just they've been trying to get me. But the thing is, I'm a good man.
I'll take that into consideration there, Mr. Pratt.
I
He's not a
appreciate
crook.
that, Your Honor. I'm
Uh-huh.
not a crook.
Excuse me in the back.
Yeah, sorry, Your Honor. This guy's is going on and calling me fat and telling me I got a fat lady on my chest.
Well, son, frankly, there's places for that. The playground's outside. This is a courthouse.
Fucked up so bad, Axel. I don't get any charges. I'm already good to go. Okay. This is why he's such a failure. He doesn't give a fuck. No, not me.
Oh, no, man.
What's going on? You ever get
Oh, a court case? Who's it versus? Well, one person now was two people. Frankly. Yo, Spanner, thank you for another gift to sub. Appreciate that. At this point, yeah.
Bye, Mr. Knox.
What happened? I've just been talking about it for a bit. He has had to go back like 5 minutes in the VOD.
Fine. He's absolutely fine. He's back up. He's been in jail twice today. He's absolutely living his best.
Chat will fill you in.
He's going back.
25 gifted Spanner. Thank you.
I was like, I don't want to know.
Miss Hall,
Yes,
sorry,
sir.
I don't want to interrupt there. I'm
No, go
actually
ahead.
considering, as long as he decides that he will show up for court cases and do that, I might consider giving him that option.
Okay.
All right. Well, don't do anything quite yet.
Nope, that's fine.
I'll think through it at the end.
Sounds good.
All right.
Got it.
I'm more for the giving the additional RP than just sending him to jail and be done with it. He wants an additional RP option. I will give him that. Prosecution there. I do believe your 5 minutes has been about 10.
They're in the corridors. Yeah. Judge, I'll go speak to them.
Should check out. They might need EMS.
Criminal use of explosives. I haven't seen anything about the actual use of it. I see criminal possession of explosive, or possession of explosives he found guilty of. Did he actually use it? Haven't heard anything quite yet of him actually using it. I wonder, this is probably not a bomb that I gave on TJ, I'm guessing. This is probably one that Jaeger gave to GG is my guess. I don't think I've given any on TJ to GG at all. Yeah, okay. For a second, let's talk about this man's pocket organization. He's got a sawed-off shotgun all the way on the 4th row. if you listen, if you got access to something and you need to be like pulling up real quick, I'm pretty sure you need that at least in your 1, 2, 3, or 4 slot. The grapple gun's got to be up there as well, 1, 2, 3, or 4. All right, handcuffs don't need to be there. They can be lower. Maybe a lockpick if you need something, but I don't see any first aid or any armor.
You around tomorrow, brother? See you tomorrow, brother.
You said A701?
Justice Bailey, it looks like everyone's reconvened.
Yes, what's this? I'm bringing BMC prep meta there? No, this is my time as a cop. All right, we're ready to call us back into session or what?
Yes, sir.
We should be good, Your Honor.
All right. Defense.
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Let's call back into session. Let's continue where we left off at. You're pointing out evidence here. Last part was the note for the grid of the courthouse. Here they are wondering as to why the break. There was made reference to a note that was not submitted into evidence. The charges from Mr. Kyle Praed at this point have been dropped minus the contempt of court. This was suggested by defense and was agreed upon by the prosecution to drop these charges. Would you like to continue now, prosecution?
Yep. Alrighty, I'm going to mention a list of timestamps for the People's B. It's going to be 3:50, in which, my apologies, Mr. Scratch Patterson talks about a security hacking device for car doors. 10:40.
Hold on. Let me listen to this for a second.
Oh, there's a lot of them, Your Honor. I don't know if you want to do this now or later.
All right, how long does it go? Tell me a start and end. I don't need to listen to this entire thing. It's 44 minutes long.
It's just that response. So I'm giving you a timestamp for each of the important responses to note.
All right, so you're referring to the question and the response, and that's it.
Yeah.
All right.
So 3:50. And then that's regarding the hacking device. There might be back and forth, so that's why I'm telling you what the specific topic is. 13 minutes. It mentions the use of unknown numbers. 23 minutes mentions the $300,000 payment for the job.
That was $350K.
24:30, in which he mentions that he was to be like Hitman from the video game series and blow up a particular cruiser. 26 minutes says particular car, one of the quote higher ups. 28:20, in which he admits it's 242.
Give me one more second. What was the last time frame there?
26 minutes.
And what was the context of that one? One more time.
Regarding the particular car and the mentioning of quote higher ups.
Go ahead, proceed.
28:20, where they admit it is 242.
Alrighty.
33:43, in which he admits it was his fourth time entering the police department during that week.
Yo, Alex, thanks for 10 months. Appreciate that.
34:30, in which he references saying, quote, I was listening to your meeting yesterday. $36:40, in which he admits to being to the PD meeting 25 times over the past few years. 38 minutes in which she admits to being there for 4 days on the 11th.
Bear with us. We have backup generators. They'll be on temporarily. Give it a few moments.
Can we have class outside?
No, this is not class. I'm not your teacher either.
Can we have court outside? Never mind.
Continue. 38 minutes. Being there for 4 days. Go ahead.
39:20, in which he admits his 5th time in that recent time frame. And then 40 minutes in which he admits all the various ways he has broken into the police department.
Alrighty. Any others?
Starting. Nope, prosecution rests.
Alrighty. Defense. Y'all prepared?
Yes, Your Honor. The
More
defense.
than the prosecution, Your Honor.
I'll pray it. My leniency to your request is diminishing.
Sorry, Your Honor. The defense recalls Brian Knight to the stand.
Director, see Sergeant Trooper, is that right?
Yes, Your Honor.
Brian Knight, please step back up.
All right.
You've already been sworn in, no reason to do that again.
All right, beautiful.
All right. Thank you, Your Honor. Sorry, just finding my place here in my notes.
Don't apologize to me. I've got all the time in the world. Well, frankly, genetics will eliminate that, but keep going. All right. Sorry. Let's go.
What was the attempted murder that took place in this incident?
Well, she's hitting on that now.
What was the attempted murder that took place in this
Yes.
incident? Could you expand?
That's not exactly
well, the
how I
people
would
are
word
charging
it,
my
but very
client
direct.
with attempted murder. I would like to know who they attempted to murder.
Your Honor, this would have been more appropriate for a motion to compel and having the prosecution list out the charges in specifics. I don't know if it's
Hey,
necessarily
hold on.
proper here for questioning.
Are you objecting? You're just speaking out. Are you objecting?
I'm objecting to relevance.
Your objection is relevance, and would you like to go ahead afterwards and complete that?
Yep, the objection is relevance to the matter of this would have been more appropriate for a motion to compel, though I suppose it's not really best evidence. It's still, it's irrelevance because it could have been appropriate with a motion to compel, asking a witness specifically questions that the prosecution could have handled is confusing to say the least.
Your Honor, do I even need to rebut this? The charge is attempted murder.
Hold
We're asking
on,
who did
hold
they attempt to
on,
murder.
hold on. Don't give me this pretense. Do I even have to? All right. It's negative incoherently. All right. Just ask the question or make your statement. This isn't a back and forth that needs to be nasty. All right. Ask the question.
Apologies, Your Honor. It is relevant because our client is being charged with attempted murder. Thus, we are asking, who did they attempt to murder?
Final response, Your Honor. The prosecution still stands firmly in believing that this would have been more appropriate for a motion to compel or a simple, pretrial motion to confirm charges. It doesn't make sense to ask the director here as a witness, as he's got no sort of testimony to the matter.
Am I able to rebut that, Your Honor?
No, we're not going back and forth forever.
All right, no problem.
I will let the question proceed. I will. Let me think about this. I will overrule the objection, but I will allow the line of questioning to go there. I understand that, frankly, they have to do with what they have in terms of evidence submitted. Yes, motion compel could have been done so. Absolutely, I do agree with that. But there are still ways to get around that in questioning. So go ahead and proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. Do you need me to repeat the question, Director?
Yes, please. Yeah, there was a lot of conversation that just took place.
No problem. I was asking you, who did my client attempt to murder?
Well, based on everything presented here, presented the evidence, he attempted to murder Sam Bass. It's rather clear.
And how did he attempt to do that?
By placing a bomb on his cruiser, waiting until he stepped inside, and then blowing it up.
So Mr. Scratch Patrickson did manage to place the bomb?
I never said
Objection leading.
That is absolutely leading question. Please reframe your question. Objection sustained.
Yes, Your Honor, I will rephrase.
We can lead. We're defense. It's
It
inherently
is-
a hostile witness.
You're not answering your question within your question. That does not fly in any court. Ask the question to your witness that you have marked as recall in your direct examination appropriately.
Yes, Your Honor, I'll rephrase. Did Mr. Mr. Scratch Patrickson manage to place the bomb on Sam Bass's vehicle?
No, he was stopped.
Did he manage to get into the bay where the vehicles are located?
He was stopped, as stated in my previous testimony.
And according to the evidence in the People's A, Mr. Patty had the bomb on his person still. Is that correct?
Evidence A. Your Honor, could you show me the
Yes, I
clipboard there
could.
real quick? I'm just
Just
gonna
one sec.
take a look at that real quick.
I believe that's the one that's already up there, actually.
Yes, it is. Your
All
Honor.
right, there it is. Is that evidence A right there on the?
Indeed, it is.
Isn't it what you said? The People's A, the photo inside of it,
which was
I
the
see it.
UPD
Yes.
report, which is a photo included. Yes.
Perfect. Thank you very much.
Uh-huh.
Could you repeat the question there, ma'am?
Yes, I was asking if the bomb was still on Mr. Patty's person.
Yes. Yep. As you can see right there on the photo.
All right. Was Mr. Patty able to set off said explosive?
No.
Thank you. And was anything exploded during this incident?
That's a really broad question.
Nothing. There was no explosion.
All right.
A really broad question.
Thank you.
For clarity, you said attempted murder in the beginning, and
Yes.
not murder.
Okay. What is this piano? No.
No further questions on direct, Your Honor.
Actually, sorry, apologies. Can I also ask some questions before
go
we
ahead.
hand it over?
Well, actually, Your Honor, if I may, Counselor Weaver was only entered as Mr. Pred Soze's attorney, not attorney for Mr. Scratch Patrickson, and since then, Mr. Pred Soze has been dismissed of all charges. Therefore, his attorney, I don't believe, has the right to ask any questions, in my opinion, Your Honor.
Rebuttal, Your Honor.
Yes, go ahead.
I see that the prosecution has added someone to their table. So we simply ask for the same courtesy.
Your Honor, I'm not conferring with the commissioner at all. The commissioner could do as he wants. He's just
Probably
there.
wouldn't be too helpful anyway.
That's not true. He can't do what he wants. His authority is outside this courtroom. My authority is inside here.
No, I haven't spoken or conferred with him about this case.
Oh, I'm just a fly on the wall. Don't mind me.
All right.
I defer to your best judgment, Your Honor.
My judgment is actually at that point, there is a good point where you are only Mr. Pred's attorney.
Can I give a late notice of entry for Patty
No.
Scratch Patrickson? Okay.
You have ample time to do that.
Do I need to leave the courthouse, or can I continue to whisper questions into my colleague's ear?
You may go on to the other side of the courtroom
okay.
and definitely
Then can
not
Bass
do
do
that.
the same thing?
That is not Bass. Bass is dead.
Excuse me, the commissioner do the same thing?
Please go into the back of the courtroom immediately.
Your
Commissioner.
Honor, what about me?
You, frankly, are acquitted in contempt of court. Mr. Pred, at this time, would you like to go ahead as well and proceed over into the side section over there?
Perfect, but I...
I'm not playing this damn game with everyone of accusing and saying they're whispering, etc. Mr. Weaver, go to the other side of the room because I do not want... I don't care, Pred. Mr. Weaver, other side.
Would that make you feel better?
I don't care. Away from whispering or normal anything. I don't play these dumb games.
Your Honor, could you post my contempt charge? I have to vacate.
I'll consider
he's got
it, yes.
active warrants as well, just for their
All
aware.
right, yeah, you can put another bad warrant out on me. Not you there. I was talking to the PD. They didn't
Mr.
put the bad
Pratt.
warrant. Oh. Yes, Your Honor.
Before you have to unfortunately vacate our premises, I expect you to at least turn yourself in for the warrant which you are having to leave for, or walk downstairs, turn yourself in for your warrant, and we'll deal with the contempt one afterwards. There's
The commissioner might be able to help since he's not a part of the court case.
That is true. Mr. Commissioner, would you like to go ahead and help with that?
My pleasure, Your Honor.
My warrant has expired.
Lord, please help me with accurate information.
Yeah,
I'll be heading
his warrant is definitely expired.
Yep, his warrant expired, Your Honor.
You lucky bastard.
Your Honor, requesting a extension on the warrant for attempted murder.
I'm conflicted.
All right. Honor, am I free to go, and you can let me, and I can meet with you tomorrow, perhaps? And we
Yes. Goodbye.
Thanks, Justice Bailey. It's always a pleasure with you.
Get the hell out. I don't need your niceties.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Shall we proceed now? Defense.
The defense has no more questions since Mr.
All
Weaver
right.
has been dismissed.
And cross.
We'll see if this works. Director, does an individual have to complete committing the crime to be charged with an attempted version of it?
Not in our experience, given the attempt for murder is inherently, well, by definition, an attempt. Pointing a gun at somebody, running at someone with a knife, getting caught in the middle of once again, using the phrase "the attempt to murder."
Okay. And if an attempted version of a crime does not exist in our penal code, do you still charge them with the full crime? For example, a charge like this might be grand larceny.
Hold on there. There is an attempted murder of a government employee. That's what he's being charged with.
Yes, Your Honor.
Where are you going
but there
with
was
that?
there was talk about the failure to attempt and destruction of property brought up during the direct questioning, and the explosive going off. Specifically, criminal use of explosives. There's no attempted criminal use of explosives.
All right. Go ahead, proceed with the question.
So if a charge in the penal code does not have an accompanying attempted version of it, an individual does attempt that charge, do you charge them with the full version of said charge? For example, a charge like grand larceny?
That is correct. The advisement is if there is not a attempted, we give them the, whatever you want to call that, the non-attempted version, as it would cover it. My understanding it is due to the having to, it's a side effect of having to effectively bang our heads against a chair with a brick on our head and a building smashed in order to actually get new charges added, not due to the DOJ, but due to our dog shit MDW.
Tread carefully there, Mr. Knight.
And in this incident, did Mr. Scratch Patterson attempt to blow up a vehicle?
Yeah, in his own admission.
And would that... I don't want to word it that.
There's got to be some
If this
very
explosion-
careful questions here.
Again, that's my apologies.
Very
Let me take this
careful
question out.
questions. What was the question?
It has not been asked yet. I've withdrawn both of them, just concerning the wording.
Next one, go ahead.
Was there an attempt to destroy property during this incident?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. No further questions.
Redirect.
Thank you, Your Honor. Director Knight,
How you doing, ma'am?
doing all right. You stated under cross that if there's not an attempted charge for something, you charge the individuals with the full crime. Is that a correct assessment of your statement?
For sake of clarity, we can. Doesn't mean we always have to. Depending on what's stated in the W.
All right. The prosecution has brought up a few examples during their cross-examination, so I would like to bring up an example as well. Do you charge people for attempted murder when they hold a hostage at gunpoint in the robbery of a financial institution?
Depending on the contextual nature of said incident. Typically, we would not, as most contextual situations revolving around a hostage do not create, there is no intent to kill in those simply by having a hostage.
All right. Have you personally ever charged anyone with attempted murder simply for holding up a hostage with a gun?
I've been a part of law enforcement for 5 years, so I really depends. I wouldn't want to give you the wrong answer here.
All right. So just to be clear, you can't think of a specific instance when that happened.
I wouldn't be comfortable stating anything under oath without any references.
All right, understood. There was also the prosecution brought up the idea of not all charges have an attempted version. Is that a fair assessment?
Correct.
All right. And for the attempted murder charge, let me take a quick look here. My MDW. All right, so the charge simply states the attempt to murder. How would you define the attempt to murder
What the fuck? That's a weird question.
in general?
How would I define it?
Yes.
I go by
that's a very penal code
the
question.
definition in the MDW in and in association with conversations with the DOJ. I mean, and there's a lot that goes into it. Could you be more specific? How do I define it? Like personally?
In your experience as a law enforcement officer with over 5 years of experience, what do you believe needs to happen in order for attempted murder to be charged?
Objection, opinion of a lay person. The witness has not been established as an expert.
Rebuttal, Your Honor. While we haven't established him as such, he seems to be comfortable establishing himself as such.
On a response, Your Honor, it's not up to the witness to determine their expertness. It's up to the courts to accept that as such if we're going to start questioning him as an expert witness.
Hey, Mr. Knight, do you hold a bar license?
I do.
I would consider that as expert enough. Go ahead. Ask your question.
Do you need me to repeat the question, Director?
Yeah.
In your expertise and experience, what needs to happen in order for a charge of attempted murder?
I mean, there's a lot of different facets. I mean, I would go by what the law says in the MDW, and then assess the facts, circumstances, to have probable cause for pressing said charge based on said definition.
All right. So just to summarize, are you saying that you can't give us a clear definition at this point? Because there are too many factors?
I didn't state that. Let me be a lot more clear. A lot of these charges are open to interpretation. We function based on probable cause, which is a different standard by which this courtroom operates. And if you're asking me for under all scenarios, when would we charge it? I mean, the enumeration of all that would probably take the length of this entire court case already. So I'm trying to be very specific with my answering here because I feel like I'm being asked to give a very broad answer.
All right. If you're not comfortable, that's fine. No further questions, Your Honor.
And everybody, do you say the word?
I'm finished with this, Your Honor.
You rest. Is the word I'm
No,
looking
sir.
for.
No, sir. I'm not resting my case.
Wow, a judge.
I am simply
DocWizard.
dismissing this witness.
Do you have another one?
Yes, we would like to call Mr. Scratch Patrickson to the stand.
All right.
Did you actually enter him as a witness for this? If so, you are aware of waiving your rights there.
It's been my understanding, Your Honor, that the defendant does not have to enter, as they can choose up to this point whether or not they would like to testify.
Mr. Patrickson,
Yes.
you're
Yes, Your
aware by waiving your Fifth Amendment right, you at any time waive your right to self-incrimination.
I'm aware
You
of
may
that, Your Honor.
choose to do so because your testimony would demonstrate you've committed much more minor crime and provide a defense to your charges. You're aware of these?
Yep. Yeah, I'm aware of that, Your Honor. Yep.
All right. Go ahead, step on up there.
We'll do it. Fuck it, why not?
I didn't think they were going to call him up.
Hello, Mr. Scratch Patrickson. How are you today?
I'm doing good, love. How are you?
I'm doing all right. Thank you.
Is that Bill who he killed? Who the hell is that?
Did you specifically state to Director Knight that you were an officer?
Objection leading. That wouldn't be leading. Yeah, no, objection. There's a thing here, and I'm trying to figure out what it is, Your Honor. My apologies.
Yes, it's leading. Come on.
Foundation.
Your Honor, it's been brought up by Director Knight that Mr. Patrickson said this. We are looking to rebut that. However, if you insist that we lay foundation ahead of that, I'm fine with that.
Final response, Your Honor. I have been told in the past that we are now allowed to reference previous witness testimony in questions of the following, and I've always abided by that rule.
All right. The line of questioning has to lead up to it. I will sustain the objection. I'm not going to overrule or take away your ability to lay that foundation for him to answer questions that may lead up to something of a response that you're asking for. Whilst, as you decide that you want to ask a very direct question with leading connotation around it, I will say, there are ways to build up to that question and have it answered. Build your foundation, ask the question as you get there.
Yes, Your Honor, no problem at all. Mr. Scratch Patrickson, can you tell us about the events in the People's A?
It's narrative.
I'd have to get the evidence. What exactly is that? Sorry.
That is the police report of your trip to Mission Row PD, where you encountered Director Knight.
Yeah. What do you want me to do with it? Sorry, you want me to talk about it?
Yeah, just tell us in your words what happened that day.
Sure.
When you arrived at MRPD.
Objection sustained. You can't ask for an entire story with that. You ask the questions, he answers them in a way that defines the narrative that paints the picture that we have to discern. Don't just ask him and say, here you go, here's your testimony. Just read it off from top to bottom. You ask questions, it allows the prosecution there to point and cross-examine based upon the answers given, not just a narrative to poke holes in. Ask them succinctly and short.
Yes, Your Honor, apologies. Mr. Scratch Patrickson, do you recall this incident?
Yes, I do.
Right. Please tell us about...
Stop with the narrative question.
What happened prior to meeting up with Director Knight?
I had a sandwich.
Okay.
I got dressed, drove my car down there, and I was stood around looking at a laptop with my wife's jugs on it when the door was left open, and I walked through it. Then I met Mr. Knight.
And what happened when you met Director Knight?
He asked me, who I was or did I work there or something along those lines. And I said, he says, oh yeah, I work here. And he asked me to display evidence of that by unlocking and locking the door, to which, like he said, I'd lost my keys that day, so couldn't do that. At which point I was placed into custody under arrest. I don't know the correct terminology. I do apologize.
No worries. What happened after you were detained by Director Knight?
He proceeded to pat me down.
Chronology.
In which he found the items strewn up there on the board. And then he proceeded to tell me that he just wanted a quiet day and I was making his day very fucking painful.
All right. Did you and Director Knight, did you say anything else to Director Knight before you were taken to interrogation?
I said, hey, I could make this day less stressful, and we could just leave it there, and I just walk out and we forget anything. But unfortunately, that wasn't going to happen. So, other than that, I was taken into interrogation, and the tape begins from there. I believe.
All right. During that interrogation, did you say anything about why you were there?
Like I told Mr. Knight, was approached by Warner Brothers executives to help promote the movie Oppenheimer. And I was told that this was cleared with people and staff to create a great news story regarding the film. And that's about all I knew.
All right.
Okay. That's where it's going.
What other questions did Director Knight have for you during that interrogation?
He asked me where I'd procured the items, and I said they were delivered to me. I didn't know. He asked me if I basically my motives.
Objection. Misstatement of evidence, Your Honor. From the witness, surprisingly.
Would you like to clarify that? You can say that, but what context behind that?
So during the interrogation, Mr. Scratch Patrickson would make mention of a delivery that included all of these items, to which now the witness is stating that he has no idea where he got the items.
No, sorry. Can I reply to that or not?
That's for your lawyer to do so.
Oh, right. Okay.
Shut up, Perk.
Your Honor, I believe that if Mr. Scratch Patrickson has the opportunity to elaborate, he can clarify the prosecution's objection.
I'm going to sustain the objection, ask another question.
Sure. Did Director Knight ask you about the items in your possession?
He did.
And what did you tell him about the items in your possession?
I told him they were delivered to me by two gentlemen, a South African man and an Irishman, and that's about all I knew about the items. I didn't know where further than that they'd come from.
Did the South African and the Irish gentleman tell you where they had procured those items?
They did not.
All right, thank you. Did Director Knight ask you what you had, what you were doing with those items?
He did.
And what was your response?
I explained to him again that it was promotional material for the movie Oppenheimer.
Look at him. Look at him. Right there's Peter, man.
All right. Did you have the opportunity to use any of these items?
I did not. I was caught very swiftly.
Do you recall any other questions from the director during that interrogation?
Let's go ahead and narrow that scope down there. There's 44 minutes of questioning. Any other of them is referring to a time period of 44 different minutes. If you'd like to address very specific questions, you should have that context behind them. Keep in mind the scope that you're asking your questions for. As a context of that, I could sit here and listen to him say everything for 44 minutes then. Make sense?
Yes, Your Honor. I'm just trying to figure out how to ask those questions without getting an objection of leading. Okay. Per the prosecution's highlight of evidence, 26 minutes in, they mentioned that you were describing the plan for the items. Do you recall what you told Director Knight you were going to do with the items?
I believe I said that they were to be planted on a vehicle with a particular number, but I was unable to recall the exact number.
All right. And did you name the individual assigned to the vehicle you were looking for?
I don't believe I did, no.
Um, no further direct questions at this time.
All right, cross.
Alrighty. You stated in your testimony that you responded to Director Knight that you had, quote, lost your keys that day. Do you typically have keys to the police department?
No, not most days, no.
Were you intentionally implying something with that statement?
I was simply saying I didn't have keys.
Your direct quote is lost your keys that day. What is the lost and that day referencing?
I think it's self-explanatory. I lost my keys on that day.
Alrighty. Part of this promotional
I would rip that apart if I was an attorney.
Stunt. Were you directed to wear anything in particular?
No.
So you chose the outfit you wore?
I wore a shirt and trousers in case I was caught on camera, so I looked presentable.
Okay, and at 3920 in the People's B, the interrogation tape, you mentioned that you specifically enjoyed being able to get into the police department during the time people were wearing vests. Do you recall that?
Vaguely.
Okay. So in the past, you've used specific outfits to enter the police department?
In the past, I have dressed appropriately when entering the police department.
Can you elaborate?
I can on what particular part?
You stated that you dress appropriately to enter the police department.
Yeah.
What does appropriately mean?
Smart, casual, whatever the case may be.
How though?
They have dress down Fridays.
Did you have
after
keys
all.
on Monday? Do you
All
have
right,
keys on
Your Honor,
Tuesday?
give me a
Do you have
moment. I'm
keys
going
on
to pull
Thursday?
up the exact quoting from this so I don't
Just
misquote.
asking multiple different days.
Objection, Your Honor. Asked and answered.
I haven't asked anything, Your Honor. I'm just pulling up evidence so I don't misquote.
All right, I'll hold my objection until you ask.
Noted then.
Just one moment, Your Honor.
Work here. In regards to the actual dress itself, I do not believe at this point that the defense has actually asked any specific questions towards the garb that was used by Mr. Patrickson.
Your Honor, we've opened up scope at this point via, he mentioned the promotional stunt. I asked if he was told to wear anything in particular. And then I asked if he chose, if that point they had an issue with scope. But at this point, we've opened up the scope and they're continuing along our line of questioning.
You asked about the shirt and trousers to look presentably. And then you asked about getting into the police department by the time they're wearing vests.
Yep, Your Honor, during the
is a very large jump there. And I very much recommend that you narrow it fast before that goes even further.
Alrighty. So during questioning, during the interrogation about the garb, you said it was even easier when you had those vests. It was a godsend. This was directly following you getting into the police department. What did you mean by easier?
I was more visible. Safety and all that, you know?
I think I got my point there. Let me continue on. You mentioned this promotional for Oppenheimer. Do you have any evidence to support that you were hired for this?
Outside of the communication I had directly with them, I guess not, no.
Okay. And you mentioned two individuals who procured you items. Do you know their names?
No, they never gave them to me. They just arrived after a little while and delivered the items to me.
So beyond your testimony, you have no way to prove that this was the truth?
It is the truth. It's the truth I'm telling you, yes.
Okay. At any point during the interrogation, did you specifically state the number that was on top of the vehicle?
Not specifically, no. I said it was around about one of these.
Your Honor,
kind of
motion to
numbers.
strike the witness for essentially perjury at this point.
What?
Objection, Your Honor. Can he finish the answer before they object?
Yes, finish the answer. Go ahead.
I said I couldn't remember exactly. I said it was one of these numbers, to which I believe I was asked, could it have been such and such? And I said it could have been. I don't remember.
Alrighty, I'll continue before striking him, but
he's not being stricken. Continue. Go.
Did you have any way to prove this number?
It was told to me, and my memory is not the best. Never has been.
Okay, Your Honor, I am motioning again to strike him, considering this is a complete misstatement of the evidence in his
Once
statement.
again, he's not being stricken. He says he cannot remember. Remember versus direct to actual video or audio, which you have provided. The man has not said at any point in time that he has given a number, and he has said that he cannot remember what those are. He's given a list of them.
Your Honor, his last statement, my apologies, but his last statement was, they never told me I never had it. It was only by verbs. He wrote it down as per the interrogation. During that interrogation tape, Your Honor, there is a point in which he has the number in his phone, and that is referenced in the interrogation.
And there are ways to bring that up specifically, instead of just proverbially hitting him with the entire hammer at the entire thing. Chisel away at it so that you can prove or disprove this man's testimony. That is your point. You don't just swing to hit a home run because you can. Sometimes you have to hit a single there.
Did you admit during testimony you wanted to blow up that vehicle?
Objection, scope.
Your Honor, it was brought up during about the explosives and the items that were brought and this promotional stump. So I'm just further asking the question.
Your Honor, I did not specifically ask about this witness about the explosives or his intent with them.
Let's see here. I will sustain the objection to the question that was asked before. Did he ask what you were going to do with them? His response was promotional material for the movie Oppenheimer. There was nothing about explosives.
Alrighty. Perfectly fine. I will establish foundation, I suppose. What was what did this promotional for this movie entail?
It was to create a small boom in the same way that is in the film with the Trinity test.
Okay, and for the courts, can you elaborate what that was about?
With the Trinity test?
Yeah, yes, for the courts, please.
The Trinity test was when Oppenheimer tested the first bomb that they then dropped on whatever country it was.
So based on what you've said here, the goal was to create a replica of that test?
On a smaller scale, an explosion, yes.
Okay, and where did you intend to place this explosive?
I was told that there had been a car that had been sanctioned already, and I was to place it on that car.
Okay. Did you enter the police department intending to do so?
Yes.
You said during testimony as well that it had been agreed upon with members of the PD for this to occur. Do you know which member of PD?
I was not told specifics, no.
And this explosion, did you believe it to be real, that you intended to cause?
Objection, scope. Just because he said he was there to intend one doesn't mean that it happened or he would know what the explosion would be like.
I'm already going to overrule that because he already explained that it was to create a small boom in the film of Trinity test.
Yes, Your Honor.
Sorry, would you ask the question again for me?
Yes. Were you aware that this replica was a real explosive? I'll word it that way.
I was not aware whether it was real or a special effect.
This is getting into a discussion that I don't want to go down because this can kind of go into.
So to confirm, you didn't bother to check if
this can kind of go mechanical, and I don't
item that
want
you were given was a real explosive or not.
No, I did
It can be awkward.
Let me just see.
You can't test what's inside of that.
No, I'm good there.
It's a very weird question for me to like even allow, and I'm not even taking that into consideration because we can't test that. There's nothing that says like here's the compounds of what's in this. We can't do that.
During cross-examination, you were asked about the expectations of setting off the bomb.
Mm-hmm.
Were you told that the bomb would be strong enough to kill anyone?
They never made mention of it, no.
And did you have the opportunity to place said bomb?
No, as I was caught before I had even made it into the building, like fully.
All right. Thank you. No further questions.
All right.
This is going down a very quick spiral. Defense.
Yes, Your Honor, the defense rests. We will go over evidence in
Go
closing.
ahead, step down, Mr. Patrickson.
Thank you.
Would you like to go over your evidence there?
I will save that for closing, Your Honor.
Now's your time to do it if you're going to do it. You can reference it in your closing, but if you're going to do it, now's it.
All right, Your Honor. Thank you. All
Do you
right,
have it prepared?
Yes, Your Honor. Just need to, parse it out of my closing. The people would like to, or the defense would like to point out in the interrogation, 26 minutes into the interrogation.
I already have that.
The description of the intended target, alleged intended target.
I already have to listen to that.
We would also like to point out that the items that Mr. Scratch Patrickson brought into the police department that day were still on his person at the time of his arrest, as seen in the photograph on the projection of the
We didn't establish a
People's Egg.
timeline of that.
That is all the evidence I would like to specifically outline.
Alrighty.
Thank you.
Then at this point, we move. You have no more witnesses, correct?
Correct, Your Honor.
All right. At this point in time, move to closing statements. Prosecution, defense. Are you prepared to give them, or do you need a moment to prepare?
I'm ready.
I would appreciate a few minutes, Your Honor, to restructure my closing based on the dismissal of Mr. Predsoze.
All right. Well, frankly, you have about 5 minutes. I'll put this court in the recess.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Mine Photoshop things. Is there any way that changes?
Yeah, there's no timeline on that one. For the sake of actually, while we're in here, I'm gonna play some of those timestamps for y'all, so that we can actually understand them, and so I'm not spending more time there. While they're doing those, I'm gonna go through the timestamps. So this is 3 minutes and 50 seconds.
Security system hacking device.
Oh, that thing. Yeah, that was also provided.
Hold on. Let me.
Security equipment. Like the security system hacking device.
Oh, that thing. Yeah, that was also provided for me as well. They said I might need that to get into car doors or something. I've not used it personally. I was like, sure, whatever.
I got you. See.
Yeah,
Okay.
So,
And so
I
was
said,
it a
yeah.
single? Did you get the phone call first?
Yeah, I got a phone call first from an unknown number.
Okay.
I guess Hollywood. You know, they don't want people calling them back, right? And then it's literally like 10 minutes later, they're at my front door.
I
Two
got
guys.
you. Which property?
The one in Mirror Park.
I guess the next question that I got for you here is, why'd you continue doing the job if they're not responding to you?
I don't know. I figured, you know, maybe like once I actually do the job, something would happen and I, you know, get the footage. I thought maybe like, you know, cameras have got all that fancy gadgetry in it now. Like when I switch the cameras on, they might know I've done the job or something. So I just sort of figured, I need money. I'm broke. You know.
And how much was the money again?
I was 300,000.
I got you. They didn't give you any money up front
No,
to do the
no
job.
money up front.
I see.
No money up front, no.
So,
Yeah,
what
no.
was
But,
exactly the
weirdest
plan?
Thing fucking happened. I just won $4 million. With the bald guy with the barcode on his head. I can't think what it's called.
Hitman.
That's the fucking one. Yeah, they made those god-awful movies out of it. They said, have you ever played the game? And I said no, so I went and bought a fucking console and played the game a little bit. It's good, it's not bad. You know, they wanted me to sneak into somewhere, and they said that you guys were gonna know about it, so it wasn't really sneaking. They were just gonna pretend they didn't see me. I was like, oh, all right, okay, sure, we can do that. And then, you know, they wanted me to wait around for a bit, and they said that I needed to get down to the garage and blow up a particular cruiser.
Okay.
I was like, sure, okay, I can do that. And that was it, basically. That was the whole job.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
I could definitely.
Hold on.
Sure, okay, I can do that. And that was it, basically. That bad. You know, they wanted me to sneak into somewhere, and they said that you guys were gonna know about it, so it wasn't really sneaking. They were just gonna pretend they didn't see me. I was like, oh, all right, okay, sure, we can do that. And then, you know, they wanted me to wait around for a bit, and they said that I needed to get down to the garage and blow up a particular cruiser.
Okay.
I was like, sure, okay, I can do that. And that was it, basically. That was the whole job.
Makes sense. Cameron's like, for all we know, the mayor may have been down with this, you know? And who am I to say? What particular cop car was the descriptor?
It was, it had a number on the top. They said it was a number. It was either, oh God, top of my head now. 245, 234, 243, something like that.
245, 243. What was the other one?
234. It's one variation of those ones. I can't remember. 254. Any variation of 43 or 45.
53 or 45. Okay.
Yeah, so either switch those two or whatever.
I got you.
They said it was one of your guys that's high up here or something. Like, apparently they were in on the market and they were getting paid as well. They weren't going to be in the car, all this sort of stuff, you know? This is the
Who
last
the
deal from
fuck?
Hollywood I ever took. Fucking hell.
All right. I'm going to give them their 5 minutes, so I'll continue that after I'm done.
She did, and she was like, she told Scarlett that you had your panties in a bunch again.
She told, that's when she got me mad. Considering she already attempted to stab someone, and that's why I had to.
The Defense, the time's come. Come on now. Calls court back into session for closing statements. Prosecution.
Your Honor, people of the court, today the prosecution has presented to you a simple, open, and shut case. It's rare you get someone so brazen as our defendant today, a man who literally admitted to what he was hired to do, though he presented it under some false pretenses, such pretenses that have yet to be presented and supported by the defense in today's trial. What evidence has been entered to support this wild claim that it was done as some elaborate stunt for an upcoming movie? A movie that, I remind you, is about the making of the nuclear bomb. Regardless, what testimony beyond the man being accused's own word? Your Honor, there is none. He would even contradict himself to the very interrogation that he had undergone the day he was arrested. As for his charges, well, he openly admitted to trespassing via dressing up as an officer a total of 5 times in the chargeable time frame. He openly admits that he was tasked at strapping a bomb to the car of Commissioner Sam Bass, a bomb that is only active once the vehicle is on. Had this succeeded, the damage to MRPD and the car would have been tremendous, let alone the damage it would have caused the commissioner himself. Then came the $350,000 deposit in Mr. Scratch Patterson's bank the day before he was arrested. Roughly the same amount he would admit to receiving. At no other point during the time frame does Mr. Scratch Patterson receive over $300,000 besides his frequent stints at the casino, which are very clearly labeled in the bank transfer. It leaves us with clear evidence to suggest that Mr. Scratch Patterson was involved in a conspiracy to bomb and murder Commissioner Sam Bass, a plan that might have worked if not for the heroism of Director Brian Knight. The time and fine are set the way they are to punish the chosen location and target of these planned attacks, ramifications of which could have caused insurmountable damage. I need not remind the city what happens when a bomb explodes. Our most
if they actually knew
great centers of power for police.
And how like they actually work.
Your Honor, we ask that you find this man guilty of the crimes accused. For it is clear beyond any reasonable doubt these crimes were committed. This villainy and scheming must be punished. We ask that you take Lady Justice's soul and bring her just ruling to this defendant here today. Thank you.
Chat. So if there was something on there and they actually got some more information from the defense side to it, they know it doesn't activate an MRPD and it's not a phone bomb. It's one that's a speed bomb. I don't know that as Bailey,
Your Honor,
but me knowing that
ladies
as
and
TJ, it's
gentlemen of
completely
the
different.
court. While the prosecution has laid out an interesting narrative and presented a police report interrogation and an interrogation of my client, they have failed to prove the charges beyond a reasonable doubt. The prosecution states that he attempted to murder Commissioner Bass, but Director Knight was unable to articulate the attempted murder other than entering MRPD with the alleged car bomb. As no attempted murder was made, Mr. Scratch Patterson was nowhere near the vehicle, did not have the opportunity to place the vehicle, and never got close to the target. Next, there's no criminal use of explosives, as said explosives were never set off. There was no impersonation of an officer, as Director Knight admitted that he wasn't fooled by the outfit. No destruction of property was presented, as nothing was exploded. There was no conspiracy, as Mr. Patterson stated that he was hired to do a job and didn't help plan said events. And finally, there is no dirty money presented. The $350K that is mentioned by the prosecution, just because it was not labeled in their own words as a gambling debt does not mean that it was payment for a job that, by his own admission and the admission
so
of the state,
innocent.
he failed to perform.
She's
Therefore,
so
Your Honor,
innocent.
we ask
She's
that
gotta
this
be
court
new.
find
I
my
feel so
client not
bad.
guilty. Thank you.
Alrighty. At this time, I'll be placing court into recess for deliberations. I'll let y'all know when I'm done and completed, alright?
Thank you, Your Honor.
Justice Bailey.
Yes.
Can I send the 2 new baby elected judges with you just to like touch base with you? I just want to.
Can we do that afterwards or during
Yes,
deliberation?
no. That's fine. That's fine. Like if you want afterwards, that's fine. I just want I want them to get to elaborate with you about your reasoning, right? I just want them. I want more experience for them, right? And more people who do it, so they're not just following like say my line of logic or Norman's line of logic. I feel like it would be fitting for them, helpful.
Yes. Hey,
Actually,
this
let's go
whole
this way.
entirety of the...
I don't want to go by his door. Let's go this way.
This side to his interpretation of attempted. That's really about it.
Yeah. Oh, I'm with you. I think we've both been following what's going on here. But I just feel like if they get to touch base with you, it would be helpful for them in their brand new judicial careers,
All right.
But after the fact, more than great. Just,
Yeah.
Thank you. Gates.
See? I can sit in this one. I sit in the other one. The fuck? All right. So, Toby, fix it. All right. So, first off, he pled guilty to felony trespassing. He literally pled guilty. Okay? So, let's go to results. Unless did I interpret that incorrectly? Can chat, can someone give me like a timestamp? Actually, no, you can't because my shit isn't fucking... I'm pretty sure, almost 100%, that he pled guilty. I marked it down. So all the entire, like... Alright. So here's what we're doing. Right? I know I don't post VODs during. I understand. Okay. Actually, you know what? Let me finish this part. Where were we down here? 2820. Let's
Phone. It's 242. Yes.
242. Is there anything else you noted down on there? In regards to this?
No, just cop 242.
All right, fantastic. All right, I'm just gonna go ahead, take the phone back from you. I appreciate that.
There you go.
What the fuck?
Medi's reaction. I'm pretty sure that wasn't Brian's thing. That was Medi.
It's I've been trying to clean things up, you know? I think this city deserves like a
better class of crop.
Yeah, I think so. And I'm willing to say it, right? Like I'm gonna back my cops, and I get a suspect screaming in the cells, I'll be the first one to pull him aside and break that other person apart. But so I think self-reflection and aiming for a higher standard. I don't mean like how fast you hit and all that dumb shit. I mean like actually
boring shit. Yeah, police work. Yeah.
I don't see the fourth time this week. Over here?
You know, that's kind of been my focus the last little bit, which is why I was a bit taken aback that you've been able to just walk in and no one has the like thought of like, hey, I don't need to be.
To your meeting
Booba. Let's get Booba off screen. Sorry. There's Booba on screen.
About an hour into the tsunami. It was through two.
Well, I wasn't here yesterday.
Who was here yesterday? It sounded so much fucking like you.
Was it yesterday?
pretty fucking sure it was yesterday, yeah.
Yesterday I was at a trooper meeting. So, I've been yesterday. 25. Jesus.
That's not including the last 4 times I've been in here. Well, 3 successful ones.
That's insane.
All right, listen, the breaking in there, the rest of the ones there literally go over that. And if he already pled guilty to it, then there's no point in me going down those timestamps. Okay, this is the part with entirety of trials. What the fuck is that? This isn't Andy's office. This is my office. Andy's office is on the other side of the building. This is a judge office. Fucking chicken man in a judge office. Get the hell out. Anyway, so this is a part of Ada. This is our office. She's got a separate one. All right. So we spent, I don't know how many times addressing the whole trespassing, and you literally pled guilty to it, but we wasted a lot of time. It's like being able to flow with the evidence that you have. And so if I'm preparing these things, and this is like, if I would go back and if any of the lawyers like come back and watch the VOD after I post this. All right. So here's how I would prepare these things, right? Here's the results, or here's what the actual things are, right? You look at criminal use of explosives, and you look at the actual report number and says, hey, here's the report numbers that support this. Here's the supporting evidence. Here's the points to conflict or not conflict and the questions I'd ask, right? So the moment that guilty has been pled for one of these, that goes after the way, that goes away, right? I don't have to ask those questions now. But we spent a lot of time in questions on this felony trespassing of being guilty or not. It was the combination of all those things, plus like the high-vis vest, the impersonation part to it. Like, that spent more so, I think, these two was like the majority of it. So, failure to obey. Let's go here, right? So, I'll read these out. Criminal use of explosive. If I can type it. Intentionally placing, using, or attempting to use explosives against any person or property. This shall include tanker trucks, cars ignited with gasoline, or tanker barrels for a combustible, etc. For the purpose of causing explosion. Technically, holy shit, that needs to be rewritten, but that really needs to be rewritten. But okay, so you look at intentionally placed. He did not intentionally place it, he did not use it, but he did attempt to use the explosives against a person or property. He made the attempt in the act of going inside of a building, and that was his mission for being there, was to attempt to do so, and had self-admitted to it even, that that was his purpose. When he says in his statements that where was it? Come on now. Get down to the garage and blow up a particular cruiser. Sure, I can do that, right? So here's what we go. For the attempt, well, the criminal use, right? Which is the attempt. So if I'm going through and explaining this, right? My ruling is placing, using, or attempting. The attempt corresponds with testimony and evidence from interrogation that Mr. Patrickson's Scratch Patrickson mission was to he committed the first act of attempting okay. So we go to attempted murder of a government employee. The attempt to murder. God, I hate the fact that this is even a question. The attempt to murder. That's literally it. He attempted to use a bomb. He clarified he was going to use it on a car. Look at regular murder. And lawful killing of another human without justified or valid excuse. With malice, a forethought, premeditation. I mean, that's... He acted with at least premeditation. But here's the thing. It was... The car isn't... The car versus the person is the point here, right? It's the car versus the person. In me, mechanically speaking, that I know this on TJ, but I don't know this on Bailey. They didn't describe the difference between a phone bomb and a car bomb, right? If they were just supposed to blow up the car that had the actual number on there, it could have been planted there and it could have just exploded. Their way of differentiating this, right? Because, like I said, I know this is TJ, but I don't know this is Bailey, is that the car bomb is a speed trap, right? It activates, only goes over 60 miles an hour or whatever you set it as for a certain period of time, and after that it blows up. A car bomb, that's a phone bomb that you plant onto a car, you call it and blows up. They didn't differentiate between either, really, of how this device actually works. So, in the acted with premeditation, sure. But it was not directed specifically at an individual. This could have been done with nobody inside of the vehicle, and testimony was given that it was to blow up the car, not specifically an individual inside of it. So, for this is, like I said, my differentiation as a character, and Bailey not knowing this, that's what I have to go off of. Right? This is not guilty. No damage was caused, totaling $1,000 or more. There were no receipts submitted, nor was an action executed to cause damage. No destruction occurred based upon the individual being caught. Doesn't criminal use say? Attempting to use explosives against a person or property. Yes, attempting to use it, and that's why I have it. This is guilty. Sorry, I'm not sure why I have that. Still is not guilty. I just copy and pasted it. That part's guilty, right? So if I go here. There we go. Sorry. There. Is that better for you? This one I will absolutely do guilty. Failure to obey. I don't think that there was any context around failure to obey. They didn't particularly go or state anything. So conspiracy actually does come back into this. I'm going to get back into this in chat. Here's what I'm going to do as conspiracy. The reason why it was originally taken off, and it got re-entered into it, is because the two individuals, what did they say? Let me go down to it. Doesn't know the two individuals, but he still took an act and gave what they took what they gave him and used what he was given, right? Even in the testimony regarding the hacking device, etc. So conspiracy, the conspiracy is, by definition, it's a small charge, a collaborative agreement between two or more individuals that enact a process to commit a crime. So the fact that he even had, like, for example, the device on him, and he took the action to go through and say, yes, I am conspiring to do the acts behind this, right? Is why conspiracy would be guilty. Possession of contraband in the third degree, guilty. He pled that. Possession of explosive, guilty. He pled that as well. Possession of dirty money in the first degree. They didn't point anything out with this. The fuck? Huh. No. Dirty money is completely different. Dirty money is not clean money. Yeah, that's your bands, that's your inked bills, sorry, inked bags, that's your marked bags. So, I'm not sure how I can show you this. I don't even see it entered anywhere. I legitimately don't even see it. Its search and seizure has nothing in regards to any money. He's got a black duffel bag. He's got chain dusters, looks like some blood bag, high quality scales, news camera, collectibles pouch. Nothing infers anything with money. There's no money entered anywhere. On his possession also has no money. I'm not sure who was pressing this.
That changed random picture onto the book. It's so good.
All right. So, criminal use of explosive.
Why? It didn't turn up. It was so good.
$60, which I knew that. Chat, if you're here watching and you haven't followed the channel, please go ahead and hit the follow button for me, please. I appreciate that. Thank you for all the new follows and people that have been engaged. And I've seen y'all in chat the first time. Chatterino badges. Thank you, thank you, thank you for those of you individuals that are coming over to check it out. I do appreciate that. To see the different side of the RP that we do here, right? If you don't know, obviously play Bailey, but the other character is TJ Walker with BBMC, who's also being investigated for, well, to my knowledge, being investigated for bomb distribution, probably a lot of other bullshit things, and hosting the death race, etc., and probably should be in for the 9s, but that ball has been dropped about 15 times. Or just hasn't ever happened. That's why I was saying, like, they didn't differentiate what the bomb actually does or the mechanism behind it. Yo, Crystal. Thank you for the 12 months, 1 year of the sub. Okay. Contraband. That's 600 possession of explosive. I cannot preside over Pigeon's case. Okay. I think that's everything. So 45 plus 60 plus 105 plus 7 plus 7 plus 45. Yo, Spontaneous Doodoo, thank you for giving a sub to my man Kyle. Appreciate that. Here's the thing, chat. I need to Kyle Pred. There we go. There we go. All right, pro RP, I guess.
fine. Before that, I murdered everybody. But like, you've got to understand that sometimes a popularity contest is just a popularity contest, and that can't.
Yeah, which I think is why I tend to lose, because I think to be the DA kind of tends to rub people the wrong way.
Alrighty, we're here.
They're coming right in, Your Honor. Just give it.
Yeah, the
1
entirety of the
second.
prosecution needs to make their way back on.
I've called them. They're coming back, Your Honor.
All right. And who the fuck is in the bag? That Reed?
There they are.
Alrighty, we all here.
People are ready, Your Honor.
I will call this court back into session. Are we prepared to hear the verdict in the People versus Patty Scratch Patrickson and Kyle Pratt? Prosecution?
Hey, ready when you are, Your Honor.
Defense?
We are ready to hear the verdict, Your Honor. Thank you.
Alrighty. As a result of I'm going to go through Patty Patrickson's first, and then afterwards I'll go through Kyle Pratt's. As a result of Mr. Patty Patrickson's, Scratch Patrickson's actions, he was accused of one-time criminal use of explosives. Now, with the actual criminal use of explosives, as it reads and as we interpret as such, it's placing, using, or attempting. The attempt corresponds with the testimony and the evidence from interrogation that Mr. Scratch Patrickson himself, his mission was to, quote-unquote, get down to the garage and blow up a particular cruiser. His response was, sure, I can do that. He committed the first act in attempting by entering the building, admitting he was there for that purpose. So in the one-time criminal use of explosives, I do find him guilty. With the attempted murder of a government employee, there is a attempt to act with premeditation here, absolutely. I will not discount that. But it was not directed specifically at an individual. During the testimony given, it was to blow up the vehicle, not specifically an individual inside of it. At no point was it made reference to Sam Bass having to be inside the vehicle either. Now, for the purpose of prosecution as well, it would help to understand how these devices work. I'm not aware of them. So the attempted murder of a government employee times 1, I find him not guilty. The destruction of a government property. Once again, damage causing or totaling $1,000 or more. There was no damage that was submitted or receipts for anything regarding or resulting from his actions. So, in the one-time destruction of a government property, I find him not guilty. For the 5 times felony trespassing, he already pled guilty to that. For the 5 times impersonating a peace officer, I also find him guilty. The 1 time's failure to obey. Failure to obey what, frankly? He was detained and arrested. Was there a struggle? Was there a fight? Did he run? There's no additional details or context around that were provided, so I have to find him not guilty of this. I did not hear a verbal command or testimony regarding a verbal command that he was given that he failed to obey. In the 1 times charge of conspiracy, I do find him guilty. As we look at the charge of conspiracy, it is two individuals that are conspiring or getting together to plan and act, and that individual taking the first step in that act, or what we would define as conspiring. As mentioned, get down to the garage and blow up a particular cruiser. His response was, sure, I could do that, and he acted upon it. That would be one times conspiracy guilty. Also, with the testimony and evidence submitted from interrogation regarding, for example, just a hacking tool, a security hacking device. Two individuals had given you items. They mentioned that he may need a hacking device to get into a vehicle. He had it on him. So yes, conspiracy guilty. For the possession of contraband in third degree, he already pled guilty to that. He already pled guilty to possession of explosives as well. The one-time possession of dirty money in the first degree, I found him not guilty because, frankly, the raid receipts had nothing that was marked, inked, bands, rolls, whatever, that was totaling the amount of $15,000 or more. If you're asking for the payment received, the testimony given was that it was $300,000. The evidence given was $350,000. There's no agreement between individuals that was 300 or 350 or what those things could be for. I understand that it was pointed out at some point in time that Mr. Praed's thing was entered into it, but that is thrown out after everything else that happened. So, possession of dirty money in the first degree, I find him not guilty. As such, I do take this very seriously, Mr. Patrickson, that breaking into or entering unauthorized areas for the purpose of blowing up cruisers, regardless occupied or not, is a serious offense. I will award you no time off. I will total the charges up here for a total of 269 months with a fine of $51,700. It is not 2 years, as asked by the prosecution.
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you, Your Honor.
For Mr. Kyle Praed, he had 2 charges of contempt of court here, and this will go back on the docket, and he will be alerted to this. He asked for leniency in doing this. Well, leniency could also be a punishment at the same time. For his contempt of court, he offered to clean the courthouse. So, as such, he must stay the duration of 2 times the court cases, 2 ex-court cases, while cleaning the courthouse in a non-interrupting manner, the entire duration. This must be completed by the end of the month. Failure to do so and breaking of his word will result in 1 year incarceration, 1 year parole with a $100,000 fine. He must report his purpose of being in the courthouse under Justice Bailey's direction. He can incur additional contempts should his actions warrant such during those trials. This is my ruling, and I close this court case out. PD, you may go ahead and arrest Mr. Patrickson.
All right, thank you. Oh, good shit. I appreciate it. Thank you very much. All right, good shit. I'm just going to take a little bit if you want to offer the rest to everybody else. Yes. Your Honor, is it going to be posted on the docket?
Well, Mr. Praed?
Or
the results of everything? Yes.
Yeah, just so for our note keeping sake.
Yes, of course.
Awesome. Thank you very much.
Uh-huh.
All right, Brian.
Patty, it was a pleasure.
Yes, of course, sir.
I
Of
do
course.
apologize for how many times we tried to link up and then
Again, a bench trial? Okay.
subsequently dealt with.
If anybody has any questions for Justice Bailey, please ask them now quickly.
Honestly,
Anyone take
you
the bench
kind of
trial?
any question that would have had you explained in your verdict.
How do you have less of a punishment then?
So I felt like any question that would have
that
had
I
you
can't
didn't
speak
address
freely
like why you
Hold on,
charged
hold
with
on.
that.
Does any of you want to take the bench trial?
I'm done for the day.
Yeah, me too. Gates.
Have they posted it up? What's the
I'm gonna
charge?
tell them that they can voice it up. What was the charge again, Deputy Sweeney?
Because if it
Felony animal cruelty.
I really wasn't gonna stick around. It's the hottest part of the day. I'm cooking. I'd rather not.
Someone take it. Damn, do it. You got 2 months left, and that's what you're here for. If you want extended, that's the best damn way that you can do it, is just take it. Get notice, do
Much
it.
experience as you can possibly get.
I understand that, but it's also 112 and I'm dying.
Judge Bailey,
Yes.
could you just help me?
Post it on the regular.
Unless you're gonna put it up, I just want to make sure I get all the charges correct.
All right.
Oh, you're doing it. Oh, easy.
Wait, I think I might have someone to take it, but yeah, just tell her to post it.
Okay, Odessa's doing it. He
think
just needs
Scout might be around. It
confirmation.
might
She
be
just needs
Scout time.
confirmation.
5 times felony trespassing, 5 times impersonating a peace officer,
I got
criminal
an
use of
email.
explosives, possession of
He's gonna be
contraband
around
in the 3rd
soon.
degree,
Yeah. I
possession
texted him
of
asking when he's gonna be around
explosive.
today. I messaged him asking when he's gonna be around today. He says he's gonna be around today, so he might be able to take it. 'Cause he's gonna be on duty soon.
Oh, so send it to you there, Brian.
Awesome, thank you.
Yes, of course.
You were actually really good at that. You were the
Okay,
one
I
that
think I got all of that.
I understood where he came from the. I had to run out a couple of times, but from what I got it from it, I understand the reasoning.
Okay, as long as you understand, because I just don't. The thing is, when you get a different perspective and a different judge, somebody you don't see day to day, you've got to take the advantage of, you know, like understanding why, understanding how. Was there any objections or motion changes or anything that Judge Bailey did that made you have a question, or you're like, oh, I wouldn't do it that way, or I do it this way, or anything? Because like you've got to get these perspectives and soak as much in it over these 2 months as you possibly can. You just have to.
Oh, there it goes.
What I was getting is I would probably get annoyed at the way. Honestly, Odessa was answering shit or saying shit, laughing.
Okay.
Was starting to annoy me.
I was not a fan of that, and frankly,
all right.
It's there's multiple times where the tone and the inflection were pointed out to both individuals, and that's actually why I separated them at some point, where I made Mr. Weaver go onto the opposite side and leave, because you could tell that the tension at some point was bubbling up between them with the snide remarks going back and forth. I do not have that.
All right, so it's going to be
100% agree.
269 months.
I like the way you did
it.
I just received the picture of
what
Miss
the fuck would
of
that
his
be?
wife that he was looking at
500.
MRPD. Whew.
And
I would have
38-month
questioned about why you said no on the attempted murder,
51,078
but then you explained it right afterwards, and it made
gonna go
perfect
ahead.
logical
Did you
sense
get
with
billed
the
yet
way you
by the
explained
judge,
it and like how you got to that
No, I haven't
conclusion.
been billed, no.
What about contempt? Did you have any questions about the contempts that were levied against Carl Pratt?
You want me to do it?
And the way Judge Bailey dealt with them,
Thank you,
right?
Jaeger.
The
Try
way
our
he's
best
willing
out
to
here,
engage
okay?
with them after the
We'll be
fact
next
on the
one day.
docket and deal with it in a different way than maybe you'd see me and Adams just throw a fine at him or some jail time, right? You see, there's a different way of doing this, a different way of like levying these things
See
and
it right
engaging.
there, boom. There you go.
Easy peasy, yep. Sign it away. Fucking easy.
I want you to learn all the lessons you can
Fantastic.
possibly
Thank you
learn
very
here
much.
today. It's important.
Hopefully, you know, in the future, when you get a call from
I mean, I think
James
Pratt
Conner
was
or whatever
100%
happens,
testing the waters as well, right?
Oh, yeah,
So it was
he
just a
stretches every
firm,
time.
it was
I'll get
firm
Nolan to call you
response to
next
that.
time. Yeah, for sure.
He always has, always will.
Alrighty.
And there has to be a stern enough a response that he knows not to do it. If he volunteers a service, we're going to put a catch to it. You can't just go ahead and do it. And do it in a manner that is such that's disruptive to the
questions
court
before we,
case
sign
itself.
off?
If he fails to
No,
do
no
so, he's
questions,
breaking
Brian.
the
You're
word
all
and the
good, bud. Let's
bonds
go
of
for it.
what he and I
Take care.
agreed upon.
You too.
And he will be punished as such,
Goodbye.
with a warrant that does not expire.
Uh,
God, you shaved his beard.
all right, y'all ready for a ride?
Yeah, understood.
Did you see? Okay, so for me, the lesson from Justice Bailey here, right? What he does that I think is probably what he does best out of all of the judiciary is when things start to get a little bit personal. When somebody raises their voice, he brings it back in a very calm, mellow tone, right? He resets it back to zero very quickly.
Yeah.
And I think some of us escalate, right? Some of us will step back. Like me, if somebody brings energy at me, I reflect energy, right? Bailey brings it back to zero.
Yeah, that's definitely
Right?
yeah.
Excuse
Right?
me, Miss Smart. We're kind of having
You've got
a
it. You've
conversation.
got it. You've got to see both sides of it and understand what works best for you. Because there is a personal approach here, right? Like I don't need Grayson 2 and I don't need Bailey 2. I need Carlson and I need Gates.
Oops.
But you need to see what works and what doesn't work, and maybe try both out. See what works for you. See what people respond to best from you.
Fat finger
Right?
instead of texting, I called you.
So you don't need to do it the way I do it. You don't need to do it the way Adams does it. You don't need to do it the way Bailey does it. You need to figure out how it works for you, but also recognize what each of us are doing and why we're doing it, right? Good. I'm glad, as long as you're paying attention and you're seeing what he does that's different to the way we do it, the way me and Norman do it, who you deal with day to day. It's important that you realize it also works because he never allowed it to bubble over. It never got personal, right?
It
Tread close
attempted to
bit.
be there. It attempted,
Yeah, it
and
attempted.
it's taking it back. And even when an objection came and there was, why do I even have to respond to this? Or something similar. No. Bring it back and make your response. I don't care. John, stop!
Also,
I don't care where you're coming from. Just make your actual thing. I look
he was
worse. You
also
look
admitted
worse
to me
if you
he's
do that.
trying to get contempt.
Oh, yeah, he said that.
That's inane. It's inane. I don't understand that at all, and I never will.
If Norman's doing sealed depositions, does that mean the courtroom's free, right? Because it'll be in private chambers, right?
Unless he decides to, boot everybody out, but he might do it in
As I
chambers.
say, because
That's
you
the
can't
way
really
I do
seal
it.
the front door.
I mean, you can put up the locks, you know?
That's true. That's true.
It depends whichever way Adams wants to do it. I talked to Norman about it. He'll let you know what's going on. Norman, where are you doing sealed depositions? Are you doing them behind closed doors?
I'll do them in chambers.
Okay, cool. So that will leave the courthouse free for you guys to do a bench trial if you're going to be around.
Yeah,
Correct, yeah.
Stout's wants to do it.
Okay, awesome.
Stout.
Cool. Okay. Glad just so you know, Bailey, I was questioning them all the way through every time, things came in, talking about the motions as they happened. So yeah, I just wanted a little bit of a debrief at the end so they got somebody to touch base with that don't normally get the opportunity to do so with.
Yes, of course. I'm around. Questions, if they come up, go ahead, shoot them over. I understand that my availability is here and there. I'm not always particularly around, but I am very approachable.
Your point of view is it's needed, right? Every now and again, we need to see different ways of doing things. And I think that's the value here today.
I've been a judge here for, feels like 4 years now. Somewhere around there. So feel free to ask the questions that you might have.
Of course. Thank you.
All right.
Thank you, Justice.
Yes, and with that, I leave.
Good work today.
Y'all take care.
The last thing I texted Juno
I'll see you
about
around, John.
was Tristan getting stabbed.
I'm not pushing you away from it. What I'm just saying is
This is Murphy.
Oh, Judge, I don't suppose you could share what the verdict was on the Scratch Paddy case, could you?
Oh, yes, I could. Criminal use of explosives, guilty. 5 times felony trespassing, guilty. 5 times impersonating a peace officer, guilty. Not guilty, failure to obey. Not guilty, attempted murder, government employee. Not guilty on destruction of government property. Guilty of conspiracy, guilty of contraband in the 3rd degree. Guilty of explosives, not guilty of dirty money. Final charges 269 months and fine of $51,700. Kyle Pratt was found in contempt of court ×2, and he must clean the courthouse 2 separate times during the end of the month. If he fails to do so, he will receive a 1-year incarceration, 1-year parole with a $100,000 fine.
So I'm going to assume that Paddy is currently serving time right now.
Correct.
Okay, thank you very much, Judge. Appreciate that. Very kind of you to share that with us. Thank you.
It's public information at this point.
Thank you.
Take care.
All right, so Paddy's in prison.
Just Judge High Command giving out pointers to newest judge prospects. Dude, having it... Okay, so when they're like, yeah, I don't want to do it, I got it... I'm like, all right, you got 2 months to impress someone. Like,
Jesus, is that the ghost of DOJ past?
Yeah, of course it is. What the hell happened to your eye there? You look like... Oh.
Oh, my eyeball got shot out by Michael Simone with a .308 Lapua round.
I have no idea what the hell that means. What is that?
Yeah, it's just a big fucking bullet. It's a sniper.
Oh.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah, then this crazy serial killer ripped it the rest of the way out. The bullet just took the nerves. And then a bird brought me this iPad.
Oh,
It's true.
well, if you find that bird again, please let me know where it lives, because sounds like a dragon that hoards all the goodies. I want to find that place.
Hey, good to see you too, Murphy.
Oh yes, hello.
Hey, what time do we schedule these depots again? Do you remember?
Me?
Okay.
I believe they're going to do them now, actually. They were talking about it inside.
Yeah,
I know
need
they say a sign remark to them.
Yeah, I need to get to him. Well, it's good to see you, Bailey. Try not to get witness tampered by Irwin. He's got a new gang of buffoons he hangs out with now. So
Witness tampered by Irwin.
yeah, it was like the last time that I saw you was in relation to all of that nonsense. Like what, 2 years ago, 3.
Yeah. Decline to comment on that one. Y'all have a great day there.
You don't need to comment, by the way. The perpetrator's dead, and he had admitted it to me on a rooftop. So
it's fair enough. He took his own precautions into his own hands, and you know, there's times in life where you're faced with decisions of you want to save money.
yeah, I don't know why it is that something about I must have a pretty face or something. Every member of High Command just confesses their sins to me like I'm a fucking priest.
All right. Well, y'all have yourself a wonderful evening.
Take it easy, Your Honor.
Hello, Lennon. TikTok. Oh, God. No, Bailey likes Bundy. He wouldn't do anything with Bundy. Bailey likes Bundy. This is the infamous Judge-mobile, chat. This is the one that Dundee... I've not had another car outside of this. This is the one that Dundee tried to steal. This is the only car that I bought years and years and years ago, it felt like. And yeah. Chat, I'm gonna do one thing on TJ and see what happens real quick, alright? Folks, can you change over to TJ for a second? The title? Oh shit. I need to relog. Give me a second. Because I'm on Judge Prio. Give me 1 minute, chat. I need to... There might be a queue. Hopefully there's no queue. Hold on. Un momento, por favor. Un momento. Un momento. Un momento. Yo, Spader, thank you for another gifted sub. Appreciate that. Thank you, thank you. 29 today. And Spontaneous Doo-Doo. Once again, thank you for the gift subs. Kyle. Appreciate all new follows today. For those of you that are new, thank you for that. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Give me a second. Let me close that one out. Here we go. There is a queue, but okay. Come on, one person. Yo, what? Hold up. Wow. Yep, we're waiting. Pausers and waiting. Pausers and waiting. There we go. All right. If this doesn't occur within like the first minute or so, or like if it's a little bit after that, you guys are gonna. We'll see. This might be up for nothing. I have to actually see if someone is available. Hello, Confined Pie. How are you? Hello there. Thank you for the gifted sub, Spanner. What's goody, what's goody, what's goody? Alright, where you at? Shut the fuck.
Want to watch?
Fleeka? Okay, hold on. Tell me that one more time. I just want to relinquish that.
Well, we're playing Hot Potato. We do it every year for HOA anniversary. We roll from 1 to 100, and whoever rolls the lowest has to carry the 9s on them, which this time is meth, a bomb, and some other shit. And Luis is the one with the Hot Potato, and he pulled out a C4 in the bank, and now there's a million cops here. They just have a minivan. Yeah, it's pretty funny.
Can I watch this?
I mean, yeah, we're just at the pink cage watching on the roof.
Oh no. Oh no. Alright, I'll be there in a few minutes.
Oh my god, there's so many cops here. Alright, you might miss them leaving, not sure.
Hopefully not, hopefully not.
Oh wait, I think they're about to We might be leaving right now.
No!
Better hurry.
The cops. I'm coming. I'm by the courthouse.
Wait, and maybe there's one more time. Yeah, come up the side, like you know where you can go into like the skate ramp area.
Yeah, where Mortel used to be.
Yeah. Just come up that side.
Oh my God, chat! My frames are like dropping. Where you at?
Oh yeah, for all that stuff is 200K.
200. All right, easy.
Not my price. I'm not making any money off it.
Yeah.
No.
Hey TJ, how are you?
Hey, I hear there's a little interesting.
Yeah, you see the
Yeah.
we got the block party, bro. They dead ass are locking the block down.
Yeah, if you look, you can see one of them has a bag of meth on their back.
Nah, I'm telling you, last time we did this, they dead ass gave us like 5 cops like this, man.
That's what he wanted.
So you have 1, 2. I see 3, 4, 5. Is there more?
There's 4. Oh, 4.
What the fuck? Stanley looking kinda.
Who said that? Oh.
Are they all dressed as Stanleys?
Yeah, they're all dressed as Stanley. Stanley looking kinda. This could be awkward as if they update all their mug shots, all their profiles.
Oh shit, they're leaving. Oh shit, they're leaving.
Oh shit.
Oh, there's an F. Okay, there's an F.
boys.
There's a C4 on them too.
Oh.
GG, my dude. GG.
Dude, there's 5 cops, bro.
Quiet charge.
Yeah, and Stanley has to drive too, which is
Well,
the funniest
we have
part.
on
It's
our
3
side.
drivers,
That
and
he had
Stanley's
on
the
him.
one who has to drive.
Oh no, bro.
Yeah, Izzy's there.
Oh.
She doesn't have anything on her though, so she should be okay.
Yikes.
Yeah, they rolled a 6, a 3, and a 1.
And a
Oh,
10.
Poppy's calling me. Yo, Poppy, what's up? Hey, what's good?
Oh man.
Tell him I say hello.
Ooh. Oh hell yeah. I'll pick you up soon. We've just been doing hot potato.
This is good.
It's something you're joining in on the next hot potato we do. All right. Well, I'll catch up with you in a few minutes. I just gotta grab something for someone real quick. I'll meet you in Mirror Park. Okay. I'll get a cushion at the end of my bed. All right. Bye. I'll talk to you in a sec. TJ, just wait at the library and I'll be there in a sec.
All right. Be there in a minute. Dude, someone's getting the 9s. Someone's absolutely getting the 9s. Yikers, man. Yikers. Ooh, someone's getting in a van, bro?
I'll be back in a sec, TJ.
Hello.
Hi, DJ.
What's up?
Much. How are you?
I'm alright. I'm busy as shit. I hope you've been good.
No, I haven't been.
I'm sorry.
Michael's not dead, so that's nice.
Yeah, I know. I'm aware.
No, I mean, like after getting blown up from Lucky Plucker.
No, I know that one too.
Okay.
Yep. I just talked to him yesterday.
All of that.
Yep. No.
He's been stupid. So many fucking surgeries.
Well, you know, the guy's got to live, all right?
Yeah.
He was walking
yeah, I
with a
get
cane
it.
yesterday.
Yeah, he
Or 2
still
days
had
ago.
it today.
2 days ago. Yeah.
He looks sharp with it, though.
He's a little dapper Danish.
He's so dapper.
Oh my god. Good. All right. All right. How's Rudy?
Mhm. I don't know. I haven't seen him in a while. He's probably okay.
No. All right.
Yeah. Last I saw him, I feel like he's just going senile, but that's kind of just been the vibe the whole time I've known him.
Kind of not wrong there. Like,
Yeah.
actually not wrong.
Yeah. No, I know. It's alarming.
All right.
How's Jesse? Where the fuck is Jesse? I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I miss him and Friend Boys so much.
How did you be like that?
What?
Oh, you gotta mention Jesse. It's every day. Where's Jesse? Everyone mentions, where's Jesse? But you know what? I don't know where he's at. I don't fucking know.
I'm sorry I said anything.
It's every day. Every day I get it.
Is it really every day? Every day?
Ash
Really?
gave it to me
Every day?
2 days ago.
Ash.
I gotta go inside for a sec.
Yeah,
It's
yep.
alright.
Nope.
I'll catch you.
Yeah.
Hello. Hello. Hi. I don't know. I can't think of anything good with this one. No, just being Rod. Sorry. The library's sick. Like, actually kind of sick. Spray Wars, Jose says. The Great Fratsby. The Great Fratsby. Calling it 60 retcons. The Lion such as a corpo. Lord of Petty. The Story of a Wise Guy. Oh my god. They got the titanium mask on it. The man with face tattoo. Ow.
Yo. Have your stuff.
Alright. Is this to you I'm giving cash or to him?
Yeah, just give me the cash and I'll
Alright.
okay, come up here.
Alright. Chat, do we get the good shit? Do we get the good shit? Do we get the good shit? Does Michael actually want to do it? Does he want to do it? Does he want to give me... Please, Michael.
The counter.
Is a trank gun?
Should be everything you need.
Right. I'm guessing no trank gun, right?
Yum.
No on that?
Wait, what?
No on the trank?
I could try for that again, but
Please
that
say
one's
no.
a little harder.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll ask him again.
There you go.
I'll get back to you on the other one though.
Yeah. I appreciate you.
Yeah, no problem. I got you. Hopefully you get good use out of them.
Well, to my understanding, it might be a joint little mission.
Oh yeah, true.
So it's not just us.
Yeah. I'm gonna go to a bank before I get robbed.
All right, I'll catch you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I'll check on the other thing for you too, TJ.
All right, appreciate you.
Work at Mushkin Motors.
What? Hell no! I work at BBM and co-owner. Why the fuck would I work at Mushkins?
You're right. I didn't think about it.
Please, bud. All right. I don't even know how this works. How does this work? How does this work? I'm gonna have to ask him. I don't know how it works. To my knowledge, I haven't seen one of these like actually ever. I've never seen that. I don't even know, like, I don't think anyone's actually used one to my knowledge. I realistically think it has, I've never seen it used. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. That's a ripper, bro. That's a ripper, man. Oh, that's a rip. That's a fucking rip, bro. Oh, that's a huge RIP. Okay, I gotta make one call as well. I mean, I know he's around, but he'll be in meetings because, you know, we obviously kind of saw my other character, but I don't know that this character knows he's awake. But I'm going to try it and hope the guy picks the fuck up.
Say that word weird. Yeah.
Hey, so question. Brian calls me the other day.
Right.
Asked me about a Cullinan. You used to have one of those, didn't you?
Yeah.
Any reason why he'd be asking the value of one of them? Like, he explicitly said that he called, like, he tried to play it off like he would call anybody else, but then later
fuck. He's probably checking my fucking bank records because I sold one for 6 mil a few weeks ago. Fuck. Why is this motherfucker getting all these goddamn things on me?
Why is he asking me about it? Like, fuck off.
I don't know. I mean, do you guys publicly run your car shop?
I mean, yes, I do. There's shit behind it, but I mean, if you want to marry Mushkin's Motors or whatever, mushkinmotors.com, it literally has it for 6 mil. So I just told him that price of it. I'm like, it's available online, 6 mil.
I'm not sure. I mean, it's either something I'm not getting or it kind of just seems like harmless asking to see if I was like money laundering or some shit. I don't know.
I don't know if shit's harmless with him, man. Like, he was
I don't know.
doing it in a
I don't
very
know.
nefarious
I'm
way.
I'm trying to see a point in this because that just seems good for us.
Right,
you know?
right. No, I agree.
This this lets me know he's looking at my bank records, so I'm trying to figure out what he has to gain from asking you that. I guess maybe to see if I start mentioning it, and then he can kind of like say like, "Oh, I guess you are close with TJ.
I mean, I think that has already been established when you fucking put plushies in front of Pigeon. Well, let's be honest there. But
right.
Okay. Just as a heads up, I guess, you know, he called me 2 days ago asking about it, so I was like, okay.
All right. Yeah, I'm not sure. If I had to guess, it's to get me to like publicly complain about being subpoenaed to maybe see if you would tell me something.
All right, well, don't publicly complain then.
Well, I'm not.
Yeah, I don't know.
All right.
All right.
Well, call me if you find anything out.
Yeah, I will.
Right.
Bye. Using TJ to go back to the source. I wonder where I've seen that one before. Bundy and Michael? Fuck. If he actually sold it for $6 million and I told him $6 million when I didn't even know he sold it for fucking $6 million, that's kind of sus. I had no idea he sold it for $6 million. Now, if you go to muchmotors.com, it's like 6.25, and there was one the other week, I think, for $6 million. So I just said $6 million. That's what Bruno was trying to sell his for. So I don't know. Fuck it. Fuck it. It is what it is. And it is, for right now, the end of the stream, chat. Today has been fun. It's been interesting. It has been a good one. I need to go ahead and I'm going to go make some dinner, and I will be around probably later, not on stream. I know if you got here, I'm sorry. But yeah, I may be around a little bit later. I need to go make dinner, or else I'm going to starve to death. So appreciate you all. Thank you very much for hanging out and chilling. It has been once again a pleasure.